Welcome to this course titled Win Your Authority. The principle in this course is we want to share and explain the principle of authority so you can sell service in the knowledge-based economy. So people will come to you because you do have a specific authority in a specific area. Okay? Do you see me? No. Okay. Can you handle her? So if we start first with the authority, we start with the course called Win Your Authority. So we start first to define what's mean authority. So what do you mean with authority? So if we go around the table, what do you think authority means?
It's a field of expertise where I'm the go-to person.
So field of expertise, or you are the go-to person.
Yeah, that's correct.
Any other definitions?
Through either your experience or your training, you became the authority. Sometimes one, sometimes both.
I like to name it. I like to call it something else. I like to call it what authorizes you to provide this service or get the job done. So, for example, if I am an engineer, what authorizes me to give engineering service? To be authorized in the professional engineering organization so I can provide engineering service. If I am a professor in a university, what authorizes me to teach in this university? Is a combination of master or PhD or whatever qualification, whatever degree, and research interest in this area. So, for example, if we have a professor teaching electrical engineering, he will not teach humanity or he will not teach history, is this right? Because he has enough studies. So authority, it has to be thought of as what authorizes you, what gives you the right to provide service and goods inside this particular area. Okay? So authority has to match with authorization. In our knowledge-based economy or in our businesses as selling online stuff or doing something different, how we can do this authorization, how we can gain this authorization. There is no body will give us this authorization. Business coaches and life coaches, for example, like business coaches, they do have international coaching federations or some other accreditations.
I'm already here.
If we have other people like management consultants or some other individuals, they will have CMC or consultation body. If we have so in the knowledge area, unfortunately or fortunately, there is no body give you credential and authority for you to offer this service. We say unfortunately and fortunately because when we have this opportunity, it can create for us an opportunity to offer a service. Okay? So authority, in my definition, or the way I like to show it, it's what authorizes you to do this service. It's a combination of so many things. Okay? Do you agree? Can you relate?
And who's the judge?
And who is the judge? It's a question which we will answer during the 4 hours today, because we will go over 4 hours today and then we have another session on Wednesday. And at that point, we should be able to either enhance your current authority or forget about what you are doing and locate different markets because you have better authority somewhere, or you will have new offering in an areas which you never offered before. Okay. I will also explain to you another exercise, which is technology I developed or techniques I developed, how to explore your authority during your history, so you can locate what will make you wow factor for people to come to offer you, to accept and pay you money for your service. Okay. So what authorized, like if we continue on the same line, what authorized you to be a mom? Or what authorized you to be a dad? Is by having a kid. What other authority is there? And then you will learn to be a mom or to be a dad, is right? What authorized you to be a brother of someone? Okay? So what authorized you to make money out of a specific topic, or what authorized you to offer a specific topic? Okay? Any questions? Can you relate to this?
Yeah.
Does it make sense to you? Okay. So authority, as a definition, what gives you the right to have a position in this particular market? In a knowledge-based economy, there are three specific authorities, there are three specific niches where people can have authorities in it. The reason for that is the market around us, and people are willing to pay money, and big money. We talk here about $10,000 to $100,000 a month or more in three specific areas. The rest of them are not relevant to any market you can tap into in a very short period. So in a knowledge-based economy, if you have a know-how to show how people can make money, how to be a better person or personal development, and the last one is dating and relationships. By far, all the marketing material and marketing studies I found around the internet and whatever market study sources we have, we found out that these are the three main criteria where individuals are willing to pay you money, subscribe into programs, and looking for knowledge in these areas. Okay, so if we go around the table and we ask, what are the areas which is individuals around the table here offer their current service? If you have no service, you say, I have no service, or I'm looking for it. So what are the areas around the table? So we start.
Well, mine is definitely personal development, relationships,
So personal
and money making.
development, relationship, and money making. Okay? The question will be, the immediate question will be, who is your ideal client, and why you, not anybody else? And this is the whole idea behind this course. Is in this course we should explore why me, not anybody else, should be able to provide this service. What's in my history, what's in my past, what I can build over the current knowledge to be me as the ultimate solutions. Okay? The third question will be how much they can pay and for what reason. And for what reason or what service, it will be a discussion of the next course, which is, we call it Win Your Program, which is how you can develop a program based on your authority and what are the other revenue streams, or revenue sources you can build, and how long will take to build these particular resources. Okay? So we moved around the table. I'm trying to keep it anonymous because this is a live broadcast and we'll have videos, so I don't want to have names in there. But let's go to the second. So what is the second? What's your main areas based on these three areas?
I have to say that the very first one will be personal development. And of course, after that, we will be to date as many people as I want.
Okay, so personal development.
That for sure.
Okay. Number 3?
All of them. Personal development, resulting in better money making or saving, and creating better relationships with clients.
Number 4? Hello?
Oh, what?
So what is the business you are in? Rational to these criteria, which is if you want to help individuals in knowledge-based economy,
I would say
you help
yes.
them either make money or personal development or in dating relationship management.
Number 1 would be making money.
Making money.
2 would be personal development.
And 2 will be personal development. When you see around town, when you have individuals coming to sell you business like stock market, investment, or publishing a book, or do whatever, they will always try to position it as a making money opportunity. For a reason. Because they basically use this data. So from 2012, 2013, around North America, people invest in themselves to learn how to make more money, or how to be a better person, or how to date somebody and keep a personal relationship. That's it. Nothing else should be on our radar because everything else will become secondary to this market. And these markets, it exceeds tens of billions of dollars. And you cannot be the authority in all of them. Okay?
You mean all of them, meaning the 3 areas that you were talking about?
Yeah, the 3 areas. You have to focus on only one of them. Okay? Can you relate? Does that make sense? Yes.
Can I give you Catherine's now?
Yeah, Catherine is on.
Oh, okay, 'cause she wrote hers down.
She's on here. I cannot see her, but she's on.
Yeah, but she wrote hers down in the chat.
Yeah. So okay. So what's hers?
Catherine is she's a social media strategies development, so making money, get more engaged followers, and attract influences and mass media attention. So I would say that the first is money, and the second
Will lead to money.
What do you think, Catherine? Which is your first, making money or development? Money.
Money will lead to money. Mm-hmm. The question will be is in your current marketing material. That's why I ask few of you to bring their marketing material with them. What's in your marketing material will say about that? Like, does in your marketing material you say you will be a better person, you will make more money, you will save money? Because remember, saving and making money are two sides for the same coin. That's right. So what do you say in your marketing material? We quite often object to marketing material which say double your income or triple your income or make $10,000 in 1 month or 2 months, right? But this marketing material are driven by these studies that you can only seek knowledge-based economy private offering on one of these criteria. If you are interested into establishing a university or a college privately, what's the rationale behind the university or the college? Helping people to get money. If you want to have a gym, what's the rationale behind the gym? Personal development, being a better person, having a better health. Okay? So trainers or personal coaches, life coaches, wherever you want to call it, it has to land into these 3 criteria. And it has to be the very first things you say. What do you do? I help people to make money by, or I help people to be a better person or having an easier life or a better life by exploring their past, or by having a quiet time and peace of mind inside their body. So when somebody will talk about different techniques like Reiki or whatever, they don't demonstrate what they give. They say, okay, I'm doing Reiki. What's Reiki? I don't know what's Reiki. And if I know what's Reiki, I don't know what make you the best one to be in Reiki. Okay? The second topic, if we satisfy these particular definitions and the potential areas, is it talks about if you want to establish an authority in a niche. So I have an authority, and this authority has to relate to a niche or to a niche. Okay? A niche or a niche are same, different language, different dialect in different areas, but you have to establish your authority in a niche. You cannot be the best person. Even anybody we can think of, he's a better person, and I don't want to bring it to a political parties where what's Trump is and what's Clinton is, but if you want to talk about any leaders around the world or anybody, he has a niche. So Winston Churchill is not a good businessman. He was a good political prime minister of a country, that's right? And with all the respect, everybody has to have a niche. And then what we will discuss in a few minutes is how to explore your own authority within this particular niche. Why we need to have a niche? Because we would like to make money out of this authority. The whole idea of establishing an authority is not for fun. It's to have credibility and making money. If you are looking for an authority to be having fun, this course is not right for you. This business is not right for you. Okay? So if we go and define what are the niches which each one around the table here or around the recording will say. So what are the niches you are looking for? Before we answer this, we have to ask ourselves, should we focus on a small niche or should we make it a bigger niche or a wider niche? Which one will give you a better value? You say small one. Someone said it depends. What do you think?
Well, I think if you're the only one that has the answer to that particular question, that's more valuable.
If you are the only one which has the answer to this question, so I want to just alarm you here with one thing. When we explore niches, the definition of a niche, it's an area or a market or a demand or a gap or it's a gap where individuals are willing to put money and buy service and product in it. So if you think that you are the only one who has the answer for this particular niche, it does not exist as a niche. So we don't want to fool ourselves because we have to understand we are fulfilling some demands. We are not the only one fulfilling the demand, because if you are the only one fulfilling the demand, there is another sales cycle for that, and this sales cycle will not happen in 3 to 6 months. It has educational in it and has so many stuff which we used to do in technology companies, how to bring new technology to the market. So when we talk about niches, we are talking here about a niche where you can sell within 3 to 6 months of penetrating and having authority in this niche, and then you sell for a year or so and move on. So if you believe you are the only solution for a specific niche, this is not the right venue for you, because it does not exist. On the supplement video, which will give each one of the participants an access to it, there are lots of discussion about this particular point. So when I talk about authority within a niche, this niche has to be recognized as existing market where there is a demand, where individuals are putting money in it, or corporation or organization are spending money in this particular niche. Okay? And so you cannot come and say, I have here an idea for a new niche and nobody else is offering it. If nobody else is offering it, there is no real need for it. There is no demand for it. The demand is only in your brain. Do you agree? Are you sure?
I know better not.
No, it has to be clear. Like if someone has a service to serve a demand which is nobody else is serving, it means this demand is not real.
Well, it depends if technology is changing. Because if you can get on the front of a wave, that's different. And you might be the first one at the top of that wave.
But the top of the wave will be serving a bigger problem. So, for example,
So the
when
problem
we
already exists, is what you're saying.
yeah, when we talk about bigger stuff which we cannot do at this level because we are here about building money based on your knowledge and your authority and how to better position you and explore your authority. But if we talk, for example, about Facebook, Facebook is a big hit. How many other tools existed within Facebook time? So many. And what Facebook was solving is human interactions. So it's a replacement for your living room party using social media, okay? The original plan was not to solve a problem which does not exist. To make people interact outside the limitation of time and the limitation of locations, so they cannot have travel or so, have been solved by the Canada Post before, then later on by emails, and then by phones, by teleconferences, by so many other areas of technology were providing a solution. Their problem was not to give you a social media platform. Their initial problem was to make the socialization and communication among friends and different interested parties much easier, and they deployed the technology for it. So when you look at niche, you have to find out niches where there is a pain in it. There is a demand there. Because if you have no demand or no pain, because pain will create demand. And then you have to identify how you fulfill this demand so you can craft a clear message. And the question of this particular material or this particular course is, why is you solving this demand, nobody else? So coming back to the original question, do you like the niche to be wide enough or smaller, focused or wide niches, wide area niches?
I'd say
You say focus, we have another focus. We say it depends.
I think
I would love to have a wide niche with a focused initial offering. Because if I have a wider niche with initial offering, I can reposition or repurpose or tweak the offering and attract into different smaller niches within the wide area.
but that goes with okay. So when we're talking about like a wider niche with a focus and width, right? So it means that the marketing it is actually targeted to that
Yes.
point first.
Yes.
But you're ready to offer the service to the whole product.
Yes. So the idea here is to have the marketing budget and money and effort and energy and everything around the initial offering to be focused for this particular group or this particular focus group. But I can give the others one to joint ventures or other people for a bigger commission because I'm not targeting this particular market. Or when I have this market satisfied, I can move out to a different areas. And when I move to different areas, I will have individuals who can give me more money and leverage the technology I have and the resources I have to give me more revenue streams. To give you an example, so we don't talk in a broad term. To give an example, maybe you are in the business of making people happy. I'm in the business of making people happy. And I will start with seniors. And I can do past life regressions, or I can do meditations or whatever. And then later on, I can figure out a different smaller segment other than offering meditation, how to make other people happy. Okay? So this is the view of a niche. So one thing you need to write down is, give you like 1 minute. So if you can write down, describe at least one niche, at most 3 niches, where your current service should be able to offer and satisfy. So can you just take a minute to write down 1 to 3 niches where you can offer your service? Do you wanna share your niches? So what's your first?
I have 3. The first one, it is high blood pressure, cholesterol.
So high blood pressure, which is health issues.
Yeah.
Number
And
2.
the second one, it's overweight / obesity. And third, poor
A poor
life.
life. Okay. Someone wants to share?
For personal coaching, you should be confident, focused, purpose, and
You want to share?
Yeah, Catherine hasn't said yet, but mine I would say are consultants. But within that, I would say new energy consultants. Renewable energy consultants. And then I would say on proprietorships, startups.
Okay. One more share?
People are not able to create a loving, caring, lasting.
Okay. Able to love.
Help movers and shakers release blocks and gain clarity of their life.
Release block.
Blue one.
Oh,
Okay.
Sitting on there. People who can't seem to create abundance.
So
Catherine's? Catherine is health practitioners, authors, business authors, and sepology fiction authors.
and fiction also.
Yeah, fiction.
So it's very remarkable. A good, interesting observation I always have is when you talk about the niches, different people talk about different things. So one niche is people having fear. This is a very wide niche because people always have fear. But if you want to do business consultation for people having fear, it will be a small business, a small companies, or somebody. It needs to be more qualified than just having fear. When you talk about removing blockage, I don't want to disclose stuff because we're recording it, but I want to say, where in the material of people who are giving life coaching, they said that they remove blockage. People will tell you we are doing Reiki, but they will not tell you they are removing blockage.
No, but I could tell them I'm going to help them get clarity on their life's purpose.
But the standard of offers when we see outside on the market right now, the only successful ones are looking for these particular words and these particular terms. So when you try to define your niche, so here we have, this is a very interesting, consultants in new energy, renewable energy companies, proprietary partnership or small business. Is clear what are the next target I will have, what is the next guy, what is the next email I'm looking for. But people having fear or confidence or lack of confidence is very difficult. I cannot say I'm helping people who are confused. Is not a definition of a niche. Okay? The niche need to be identified as somebody who is willing to pay you money.
So using that example, right, of fears or confidence. So basically, is the fears or the fear of spiders? Is that something that it will be more defined? Like if you fear snakes, right?
Yeah, but this is a business consultation. This is a business consultant. This is a business consultant. The target client are business consultant. Are not people who have fear or lack of confidence are not qualified as a business consultant. The niche is not clear. Okay? Do you get my point?
So it's almost like she's gone really broad, but without narrowing it down to an actual specific definable niche.
It's like fear to spiders will be a way to create a more focused thing.
Yes, fear to spiders will be a very focused thing.
Yeah, that's
the second question will be is how many individuals are in fear of spiders and how much money are they willing to pay you for? Mm-hmm. This is another qualification for the niche. Mm-hmm. But when you try to define your niche, the niche has to be focused enough to be defined. So, for example, in the digital marketing niches right now, there is a huge niche on Snapchat and how people can use a Snapchat. There are lots of material coming out right now because the Snapchat has started to have a new marketing material, a new techniques to share for businesses. It become a very interesting niche. There are more than 70 million businesses right now are trying to leverage marketing on a Snapchat. So if you consult or you produce material as a knowledge-based economy, if you produce material on Snapchat, do you think you can be able to sell? Okay. There are some other niches like Facebook ad or Google Plus advertising or AdWords or SEOs and stuff have been already consumed. So within the digital media, digital marketing area, these are the niches. So what I like about this exercise is, for example, in the area of personal development or giving fitness services, there is a focus on high blood pressure. So the fitness here will fit a smaller niche. Okay? So I don't want to go into the practice of can you rewrite your niche. I want to first start with the following question, and we can do it in blue here, is can you spend 1 to 2 minutes, 1 minute on your current niches away from them being good or bad? And you answer the following question. Why you? Not anybody else. Why you is the one who can provide service in this particular niche. If you cannot do the 3 of them, you can do 1. And the question is why you, not anybody else. And this question is important. It relates to the same concept when we talk about how to do a public presentation and you lead with your own story. So why it's you? Anyone ready to start to give an answer?
I go again for the fears. Easy, accessible listener, and proven leader and empowerer.
Listener and what?
Proven leader and empowerer
And empower.
or encourager.
Okay.
So I said, provide you with sustainable solutions to lower your blood pressure as a result of improving your sleep.
Okay. Well,
I am passionate about connecting people to the universe that has all the answers.
wow.
That's what I
Passionate. Okay.
I'm waiting for Catherine. I'm waiting for you, Catherine, so I'll do mine. I have the experience. I have the knowledge. I can be trusted. I'm cost effective. And I've created process that is specific to.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Did you take this course before?
No. Is that the right answer? Yes. I'm going on Who Wants to Be a Millionaire.
Okay, so any other answers?
Okay, Catherine's
Yep.
is I'm a writer, I'm an author, entrepreneur, and I understand the same.
Okay.
I'm a strategist with proven program. I develop my secret sauce, but not telling.
No.
Catherine.
Did she take the course before?
I'm going to ask her. I'll ask her. Did you hear that? Did you take the course before, Catherine? Jerry Foster. Jerry Foster's?
This is the areas where we want to target by this course. Why is you not anybody else? So when you say I give them a solution, does anybody else give them a solution?
Sustainable.
Sustainable. Is there any other coaches or leaders or service provider or product offering gives them or claims to give them sustainable solution or a kind of solution?
No, they're very difficult to maintain. So with,
They are very difficult to maintain. It's another aspect to it.
but that's an issue. So when you give a
The
solution that
question
is-
is, at the start point of offering a program, does anybody other than you giving them a sustainable solution? Now, the sustainable solution works or doesn't work, it's a different story.
then it's not sustainable.
Yes,
doesn't
but
work, it's not sustainable.
if I look at the messages on both sides, how your message will be different.
I don't.
Okay? So, why is you and why is not anybody else?
Why?
Why you, not anybody else? The most, or 80-90% of individuals we talk to, why you, not anybody else, it lends itself to a simple statement. It's me who had the experience and the knowledge, which I can articulate with my own voice and my client can connect to me. That's it. People comes to you because it's you. You have your own knowledge, which is like two here have been saying, I have the experience, I have the knowledge, and I create a custom process or a secret sauce process or something especially focused So when you look at a service providers, people try to see why to you. We will try to quantify and qualify why is you as a service provider against anybody else.
But I have like with the wording that you use, like it is a very simple question. By saying, I'm the expert in fitness, just to give an example. I mean, that wording itself, is that enough? I don't think so, because I'm not saying...
No, the word will need qualifications.
That's a whole-
Special sauce.
Yeah,
So
that's what I'm saying.
my
So
words as I am the
that's-
expert, my words, for example, I am the expert in fitness. It needs more qualification.
Exactly.
What does give me the expertise in fitness? And this is part of the exercise which we will do very shortly right now. So when you try to identify your niche, and I think that the dialogue now is different. It's not what niche you are serving, but if you try to qualify a niche, you need to answer a question: why it's me? You put between parentheses or between quotes your name. Why nobody else? So, for give you an example, for example, for me as Wael Badawi, why is me not anybody else? Because I had 22 years of experience building businesses and educating individuals around the globe. I build businesses and I have a special interest in knowledge-based economy, and I help individuals over the last 4 years to offer service in this area. And I can put their information or their testimonial in front of my clients. When people look at you, look at your expertise, look at your knowledge. And your expertise and your knowledge has nothing to do with your education, has nothing to do with your information you know or your business development you know. It has to do with you. What's your personal experience? I know individuals, I'm helping individuals who are developing technologies for helping different individuals to promote business, to go as a tours. So when you try to promote somebody to go to Cuba, for example, what kind of skill sets and knowledge you need to be able to promote a Cuban resort? Just to live in the Cuban resort for a week or two and have a good experience. Have enough knowledge of the Cuban islands will give you the credibility and the authority to speak about Cuban tours. And you can promote the Cuban tourism area, tourism activity, by just you know a little bit of geography, a little bit of history, and experience it yourself. There is no one selling knives or no one like chefs. How many of you have been seeing the chefs on the TV? How much money they make? What's their experience as chefs? Chefs is a very good example because any chef will eat his food. He'll experience the food. So when he show you how to cook a new food or a new way, a new style, he experienced himself. And we trust him to duplicate it. And we trust him to show us how to duplicate it. So when you define your own niche and your own authority, you have to understand people come buy from you because it's you. We had a famous speaker in town, and he came and said, all business process I teach you guys exist in the books. 80-90% of what I offer you is the books. Only 10 to 20% is my personal knowledge, my personal practice, my personal system, which you learn, and that's why you pay me money. Because you can read books nowadays on Google, you can do everything. You can search everything, you can look at information, you can buy books, you can do stuff and spend time and read. So the difference between you and anybody else is you and your own experience. Sometimes, for some service, the experience you cannot have. Because if you help somebody with high blood pressure, you don't need to have a high blood pressure and recover from it, but you need to articulate and demonstrate how much do you know and who else did you help in this area where you achieve some good results. So you get your credibility. So when we talk about we talk about what's in your expertise will allow you to identify this particular niche. Okay? Can you relate? Any questions?
Catherine, let me see. She said she wanted to add on, and she gives a 30 money back guarantee.
But the 30 money back guarantee is something else in the authority. But in the authority, why is you? It's the main point. It's you because it's your own experience. Quite often, when we look at the way we offer this material through seminars or through public speaking or through workshop, they ask you to articulate your own story. And then we will give you a structure how the story will be as part of our program or any other program, where it will be a pain point, a defining moment, and then your system and the happy outcome, and then you can relate to the audience and you can seed your offer. But why do you have to bring your story in? Because your story supporting what? Supporting your offer. Which means your story is the credibility to give your offer. When we teach the sequence of having a seminars or an intro night, and we talk about, you give nuggets, you have introduction, and then you have a title of a seminar, and then you talk about why you answering this title in the middle of like 10-15 minutes down the seminar. Why you? What's your personal story? Your personal story has to match positioning you as the expert. In this whole business, we have two things we have to take care of. One, you have a service which will make people happier, or will transform their life, or give them more money, or make them different persons, or give them a date, whatever they satisfy their needs. Number two, everything in this business is to support your offer. So individuals will join your program or buy your service to experience the value and achieve what you are here to give them. Okay? Any confusion, any questions? Can you relate? I see someone cannot relate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the last thing you said, if you could repeat this. So one was about the money, relationship, or personal development.
Yes.
And then the second one, I didn't get that.
These are the three areas of knowledge-based economy services which allow people to make money on it. Now, inside the offering itself or the delivery itself, when we discuss, it will explain at a certain point that you need to put a seminar together or a webinar together or whatever you want to put. You have to articulate your story, and your story has a structure. The reason for you to articulate your story, because you need to tell them why it's you. I have been there, I do it, I experienced, I know. Or I have been there, I helped so many other people, and these are the flagship individuals. I have been there, I received so many awards. I have been there, I received this degree. I have been there, and this is what happened. And that's why you buy from me, not from anybody else. Okay?
Yep.
So, the whole concept behind authority, it establishes who you are, why you are the best one to give them this service. We always say, if you don't have a story, you borrow a story. What do you mean borrowing a story? You're getting somebody else's story and say, I know someone who has these problems, and because you need to establish why you helping these other people's story. Does it make sense? I heard from some of you stories. I got lost into the details. I couldn't find the outcome, but I will, when we come to the course about the stories, I will disclose to individuals and what missing there. But if you cannot articulate why is you cannot establish your authority. Okay? Any questions? Can you relate? So the exercise right now, it's a technology which I developed, and basically it doesn't have to have any niche in mind. I call it exploring of your authority during the past time. So each one of us has a story, or had a service, or has something inside them, which happened sometime in the past life, from when they were born till today. Or someone will have a story of his grandma or his dad or something, and he was helping them. So the tool which I will explain to you right now, I want you to apply it. To be about 15 minutes exercise that you can map it to your own life. So I start from now. So this is now. I want to go from the now to split into two different branches, which can be the last 10 years, and this will be from 10 to 20 years ago. Or it can be the last 5 years and from 5 to 10 years in the past. Okay? The next level will be within this 10 years. So to give you an example, today is what, 2016. Okay? So what happened in your life between 2016 and 2006? And here what happened in my life between 2006 to 1996. Okay? Can you relate? Then here I will go from 2016 till 2011. Sorry, yeah, and 11. And this one will be from 06 to 11. And then here I will go from 16 to 13, and this will be from 11 to 13. And you'll go to the lower level till you reach a 6 months period. So I will come and say, in the summer or in the first 6 months of 2010, what did I achieve and what happened to me? And what we are looking for is, what award did you get? What knowledge did you gain? Did you have a course or whatever? What break or what vacation did you have? Who did you serve? If you have some client, who did you serve as clients? If you can split your life in this way, I can show you how to accumulate back and establish your own authority.
Why are you splitting in those blocks in the branches and then go further down?
Because this will give me a complete view of what happened in my life in the last 12 years, 20 years, whatever years you want to target. Okay, so for example, for me, in a specific time, I was helping this particular client. And you know what? This client is the largest oil and gas company. I was in some time helping this particular client. And you know what? This client is so and so. And this time, I was on this vacation in Italy. And I did these things happen. Do I have authority on speaking about Italian vacations? If the answer is yes, this is how I can show you how to establish your authority within this area.
So you're using this to create more focus. So
Yep.
you first look at the 10 years and then you go down what the main things I remember from the last 10 years, and then I look at those 10 years and split them down to, 5 years?
You have to split them into 3 months level. Because 3 months is a vacation, summer is 3 months. The school was 3 months. So if you want to do it in a simpler way or a smaller way,
Because I'm not getting this.
you
I'm
can
like totally like,
you can start here.
I'm sorry. I totally.
You can start here at 3 months and 3 months, and this will give you 6 months. And
Okay.
this 6 months will give you here 1 year.
Okay.
And this year here will give you here 2 years.
Okay.
And this one here will give you the last 4 years.
Okay.
So in the last 4 years, you split them into 2 years and 2 years. Okay? Let's just do it for 4 years for now. In the last 4 years, which will take you from 2016 to 2012, what happened in your life during the period 2016 to 2014? and 2014 to 2012. Then I will split this into two areas. So this will be what happened in 2014, 2013, and this what happened 2013 to 2012. And then I will split into 6 months. And then I will split here to 6 months. So this will be 2014, and this will be 2013, 2012, 2011. This what happened in January 1st to June. This is July to December, and then January to, let's call it March, and then April to June, and then here will be July to September, and then to 12.
And you use the structure in order to make it easier.
I use the structure to make it easier and complete.
To focus.
To focus. And sometimes you say, okay, you know what? I don't remember what happened here. Doesn't matter. Say not remember. Okay? What you need to focus on in these areas over the last 4 years, for example, is, did you receive an award or recognition? Did you help specific clients? Did you receive results by your clients? Did you provide value? Did you go to a vacation in a place? Where you went for vacations? Because some of us can just have an authority around travel around. Some of us can, if you have a hurricane or you have an earthquake or whatever in some areas, you can be competent to stand and explain to people how to help people in these areas because you know this area very well. That's right. So this is an exploration exercise for authority which goes through the time. If you develop the tool, if you develop the program, if you develop the company, just write. Write down what did you do during this particular 3 months period. And the more you can write down, the better you can establish your authority to be able to offer a solution. Because nowadays I will say, you know what, why you come to me? Oh, you know what, because I have this client, which is the largest construction company. Or I help this client, which has been living for so long. And then the next steps there will be some other steps engage with it.
I've done something like this, not that detailed, so that's why I was so curious why you use all those branches. And I see now that you can dig even a little bit deeper, but I did it more by years.
I know, but you do it more by years, and the trick here in this particular tool, which is I trademarked as my name, this reverse binary trees, because this is the way to extract your knowledge and your authority in any field. So, for example, if somebody took a basic course, or a Pascal course, or a C++ course, or someone developed a website, write down I developed a website. Or somebody did an optimization for a social media, write I did optimization for social media. Write I traveled, write I divorced, write I went to court, write everything you can have. Because all of these areas, there is actually a demand right now for articulation of experience in these areas. So if you were able to get, for example, if somebody went through a hard divorce and were able to overcome, there are individuals out there, they would like to know what they can do to achieve the same results as you. If you traveled some areas, it might be a potential to have an event in a workshop or a community center where you can actually teach them and offer them for service some knowledge of these areas. I have a friend who we're helping him position his service. He travels about 9 months a year, and the 3 years he comes to Calgary, he just put his images and he got people to buy his service, which how to take photos from nature, and it's about $4,000 workshop. And all what he's doing is going all South America, taking all these interesting photos and come back in summertime and offer this service for workshops, for 4 or 5 times workshops. He make enough money to go back to do more traveling. So this tool, it's unique because it helps you identify. If you have something where you failed, write down I failed. If you have something when you say, I don't know, leave it blank.
So wouldn't it be easier just to go 2016 what I did, 2015 this is what 2014?
No, when you
When
focus,
start breaking down into those last few years, I'm not going to know what I did by the month. Is it really worth breaking it down by the month?
for some, it does breaking it down by the months. Here we try to break it down by
I get
3
that
months.
far out, not the month.
Get whatever level of granularity you can.
I might be able to do that for the last 3 months, but there's no way we're going to get 4 years out.
Sure. If you can do only 3 months, do the 3 months. Leave the other stuff empty.
You know what I mean?
This practice, I did it over 3 weeks.
Yeah.
Because what
Yeah.
happened is I did the first cut,
And things come up.
and then things will come up.
They will.
And then you figure it out, now I want to make money. So how can I make money? Oh, you know what? I can offer a course in this area. I can offer a material in this area because I have been in this before, so I can try to find customers there. So this is a more comprehensive than just a CV. The right start is to have your CV in front of you, or having your marketing material, or having your calendars in front of you. But I want you to think about, you know what, if you have a special meal, if you cook the special meal, like some of us would like to try out a special meal, write down in this particular time I cooked a special meal. Because you know what, you can just offer, I don't know what service you can offer, but these are the areas. Remember, people have to make money. If you made an investment, if you rented a house, if you bought a house and you were able to rent it, can you write it down, and then we can figure out if you made money or not. If you have been, if you cooked something, if you took care of your kids, if you went with your kids to Disney, write down I took with my kids to Disney. There are so many parents around here who have pressures because they don't know how to handle their kids in Disney. So this is an exploration for what you did in your life and how to establish your own authority. And this is maybe the most significant tool if you can do it. And they give you 15 minutes. It's right now 34, so I want you to just try to give it a crank. And please try to go further than 4 years. Here I explain it on 4 years level.
Okay.
Remember, the times usually are split by 2. You can do it for 10 years, for 20 years, for whatever. Yes, ma'am.
So this one goes from 2012 to 2016?
Yeah, this is the big note, the route.
Right.
And then I will take 2 years and 2 years.
Okay.
And then I get 1 year and 1 year, 1 year and 1 year.
Okay.
So what you write here or here, it's duplication. So if you have something here, it will move to here and then move to here. So it's basically
Okay.
a
Oh,
list.
I see. Okay, so you really start.
You really start here, and you know what? If you don't know what you did in the 6 months, just write it under the year.
Okay,
If you don't remember, write under the decade.
Okay.
So for individuals who have 20 years of experience in life, or people who have been 40 years old, they should make it for the 40 years old. Because someone will stand and say, you know what, my story is what? When I was young, I was a kid with my granddad, and he suffered from this one. I got really sad when he passed away. I could not make it, and you know what? I decided to look for this treatment. I decided to try to help individuals to overcome this particular condition. And that's why I'm here to help you guys. Majority of the inventors, it comes from their young generation. So this is what tool we propose to have such authority. So I will give you 15 minutes. And if you have questions, you are more than happy to answer.
So I almost feel like I want to go the way my mind processes things. I want to go, what have I done here, like as a whole, and list them all out, and then start plugging them. Does that make sense?
It does make sense. If you want to start with everything you did once or specific times, it does make
and
sense.
then start plugging them.
At the end of the day, what I'm saying is, here we have the start. On Wednesday, we have another look at it. Next week, we have another look at it. But this will give you the starting point. If you want to offer a service, especially a consultation, one-on-one, coaches, whatever, who did you help here relevant to your service? If you cannot articulate that, you are not the best one to offer the service. You have to do something different. Can you relate to this? It's much easier if you want to look here at 4, 8, 16, or 32 years. It will be much easier in the splitting because this is a binary decision tree. So if here you have something to 4, 8, or 16, or 32, and then if the stuff doesn't fill you don't fill the branches. The beauty of it also, if you start with 4 years, you can actually plug a new a level later. So if you start from here, I usually start from here. I put every 3 months and try to figure out what happened. And then I go back for more years based on the granularity. But you should be able to tell me every single summer in the last how many years you have been in your life, where have you been, and what did you do? You should be able to figure out when have been you fired from different jobs, when have you been doing new contracts, when have you. So these are the information which is you needed to establish your own authority. Just you can start 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months, 3 months.
And then, because right now these are 6 months.
Yep. If you went to a competition, if you have your kids riding horses, or you went to a soccer competition, you have been business coach, soccer coach, dealing with kids, have difficult kids, have some kids with autism, dealing with somebody, a good friend or someone who had, because all of these are different avenues where you can generate money if you wanted to.
That was close.
Holy!
These range?
I think
Standards?
it is. I didn't see any warnings.
And whoever on the on the video conference, Catherine, if you can also do this exercise, and if I know, I'm not sure if you can see the actual chart, or just we can give you the chart here. So here's the chart. You can see the blue lines here describes the 4 years, and you can go 2 years and 2 years, and then 1 year, 1 year, and then 6 months, 6 months. So this can give you some better view of what we are doing.
didn't say it's supposed to be that bad. Okay.
There's a coffee here. If somebody wants coffee, I can make coffee.
I don't think about it.
When you think about it, it's crazy. But you know what? It helped. These systems helped me early on because when people come and ask me, so why you do this? I say, oh yeah, because you know in this particular years, I was helping this particular individual in this particular problem, and then I reach it back to this individual. I ask, okay, would you allow me to use this testimonial for you, or can you provide me with the testimonials? Or can you give me a photo? Because now we can put stuff into perspective.
That's right.
Because so many, for example, bookkeeper. Okay, bookkeeping for who? Can you tell me a flag leadership? Or can you tell me how many companies did you help all over your career? Because if you have been around for 20 years, I don't care. But if you come and tell me I helped 2,000 companies or 500 companies,
I would say about 600.
or 600, oh wow, she helps 500 companies. So she will never be wrong, okay? That's right?
But I actually see how I've got this now. That's what came out of this too, because I'm like, I want to list off every client I've ever helped, what industry they've ever been in,
This is another. This is one of the side.
how many employees they have, you know, what I exactly did for them, you know, because then I can also break it down into, you know.
And if you can also say, there are so many levels. We'll talk about it for this particular exercise, but these are the concept. If you can go for 3 months and say, in this particular 3 months, I went 1 week, 1 month off to Vancouver. It's great. First month I finished this one, and you know what? It was 1 month rushed engagement. Say, you know what? You should articulate that you were able to help somebody in a 1 month, give him value within instead of 10 months engagement, because everything was rushed. So this kind of information is what you need.
Yeah.
But how you explore this information outside this tool?
Yeah. go, where was I and what was I don't. But as soon as I look at the emails, it will all come together because I have like thousands of emails. It's crazy. But even going away, because even when I was away, I was always communicating with clients and everything. You know, half the time they didn't even know whether I was away or whether I wasn't, or. Okay, so.
If you achieved a specific moment, you can stop and we can talk because there are so many to it.
I'm 1 year in.
You're 1 year in?
1 year in.
Yeah. So can you share with us this year? Like, what did you do in this year?
Pre-grounding experiences. Watched my kid transition from being a player to being a goalie. Went to Lady Antebellum, KISS. Business courses. Make your mark, reignite, win your brand. Personal development course, PSI. Body, Soul, Spirit Expo. I did talks at the Body, Soul, Spirit Expo. I did talks for the Alberta Hypnosis Society.
How many talks? And how long? And what are the topics? So
Past life regression.
when you try to identify this information, you should try to figure out the wow factor. What is the wow factor in this area? The wow factor can be is particular about speaking or talking, speaking engagement. What are the topics? How many? Did you have the speaking repeated or not? How many audience was there? For how long? So, for example, we hear about a specific speaker. They say they talk to 500,000 people or 100,000 people. But how often did it happen? And what are the topics? Some other bios will say they spoke about this particular topics in front of so many. So when you do this exercise, you need always to think about what is the wow factor. Having the event itself, it's good. You need to wow
If there
it.
is no wow factor, you're in front
It
of
doesn't matter if there is no wow factor. You move on because the wow factors,
did.
the wow factor sometimes will come with the aggregation of the information. So when I aggregate all of these, I say, oh, I had 20 speaking engagement in 6 months or in 2 months about this particular topic. Or I have been addressing so many. I have these repeated clients.
So I've done 17 workshops over the past 2 years. How about that? That's a bit of a wow factor, I would think.
Yes?
Personally, put them on.
Yes.
Yeah.
So this will establish you as somebody having experience in workshops. So what you can do with this particular knowledge, you can teach individuals how to put their workshops. Because this wow factor will come to who is the audience of this wow factor? Somebody like you wants to establish a business like you, and they don't know how to do workshops. You see how you can position it? So it may not help you in the areas of the current service. And
No, but it would help me with the other practitioners or other wellness practitioners.
it can help you establishing a new authority or an authority in an area which you didn't think about it.
And sometimes you've got to get out of like sometimes we put ourselves in a box and we go, this is, and we get so focused on what we think we need to do, we get in the way of ourselves of sometimes. And I'm not speaking from, I speak totally on what I'm picking up from this for myself. So I'm not projecting, I'm just saying what I get.
So if you go back to your emails, for example, or your records or whatever information, you should be able to figure out what happened in these 3 areas. How you make money, personal development, relationship. Forget about the dating side because
So the business courses would definitely be a big part of two different courses right now.
So
Mark and-
if you go establish yourself as authority in how to make workshops and how to design workshops and how to operate workshops, including the expertise that you trained yourself for this business course, it is important. Because now your authority is around how to teach people how to make business. But having just the authority, and what I always recommend is to have colors. You have color codes. So when you write these events, you go, I hope I'm not going ahead of myself, but usually when I write what I have, I will put mark.
Right.
And then I have another color for personal development. And then I have a third, I don't have too much colors for relationships. So I'm either made money,
Would it be easier just to
highlight them, any other notations you can have, but some of this activity can serve two different areas.
Yes.
Actually, I did mine with the mind mapping tool in a different way, but that's why I'm drawing this out right now. So with the mind mapping tool, that's nice. You can use all those comments, clouds. It's very neat to put that all together. And there's some free stuff out there.
Yeah, but if you work on the computer, you cannot read at a small scale. That's why I like to do it.
I could say I've done 7 talks at the Body Soul Spirit Expo.
Okay.
You know what would be really cool with this one is I think this is for me a
Yeah.
huge aha in learning.
Well, now that I'm getting it, now that I'm understanding it, because it's put together that that would have been nice to say yesterday. So this is my 17th workshop in 2 years. I think that might have impressed a few people.
I will give you one-on-one private talk on yesterday, which may cost you $5,000 to $10,000 if anybody else will do it. But this is where the areas is. So for me, for example, when I go and speak about personal development areas, I talk about how you can get your grief away from during your divorce and during your hard time, because I found out that I have spots here, and how I develop myself through, it can give people experience. When we talk about how you can mediate hard cases and mediate hard occasions, because I was myself in these cases, I was mediated and mediated others. So when the recommendations I have for you, don't think about it from your current offering. Just, I have individuals using this tool, they wrote down, we used Facebook. My first account at Facebook, I had a Hotmail on this particular year. Okay? If you come and tell me you have been on Facebook since first offer of Facebook, this establishes you as experienced user of Facebook. Can you make money out of it or not? It's a different story. I'm here trying to locate what kind of wow factor authority. What make you special. Do you have anyone you want to share?
Me? Well, for the last 6 months overall, this is how I broke it down, right? So I enrolled 13 new clients. I have my CPR course. I have done one wellness program for 15 employees. For a company, and there were 15 employees in total. I launched and learned at Stantec. I was the MC in a Venezuelan event in front of 400 people. I worked in a yoga studio, teaching group classes of 5 people, like a small group setup. I joined the Canada Obesity Network Ambassador Group. Vacation. I released some responsibilities. I went to the mental health event and I met Brett Wilson.
Do you have a photo with Brett Wilson?
No, I don't.
Okay.
For quite a reason, I chose not to.
Okay.
I have been on the radio twice and TV twice.
So can I say that you have been seen on this radio? So can I have a photo of you as seen on? And I have the logos of the radio, the logos of the TV, the logos of the magazine, newspaper, whatever you have been announced.
I can have it for sure.
This is how you use this tool to establish your own authority, because it will distinguish you against what? Again, it's the one next to you, sitting next to you on the table, because he has never been on the Venezuelan event. He's never been on these TV channels. And if he is, it's good for both of you guys.
Yeah.
Okay, so this is how you can use this tool. At this level, there is a second level I'll explain, but at this level. Marcel, do you wanna?
Haven't filled the structure yet. I worked on the structure and I have already started my stuff at home on my mind map. So I will switch it all up. I've already in, but definitely helps to get even more details than what I have.
Please, when you try to fill this, try to fill it outside the context of your current offering.
Oh yeah. I have everything.
Not your current offering. It means if you went to a vacation, if you developed a course, if you developed a birthday for your kids.
So this is a totally different product. We're not even looking.
No, we are looking at the foundation. We are looking at you as experience. You know, if you have 3 kids and you develop a birthday per kid per year for the last 20 years, you know how many birthdays you have been developing? You know that you can give advices for people how to manage their birthdays and develop their birthdays. I don't know if their money is there or not, but what I know is this establishes you as authority against somebody who has 2 kids only, against somebody who has 1 kid. I'm trying to bring a simple examples because when we get stuck, we cannot find money, we cannot find ways for doing money. We may not need to have a job. We can just try to shake our authority and figure out, okay, can I offer a program where I can bring money in 3 months or not? Can I develop a story about that? Yes, sir.
Yeah. For example, what I have is all the or countries I traveled to. 36 countries traveled. Many. An accident.
So if you travel to so many cities or you served so many countries and so many cities, this will enhance your authority because you can come and say, I service clients on site and incident or accident in 100 plus cities. Click here to read the city list. So nobody can challenge it. Nobody can say 100 is easy number, you know. Why is not 110? Why is not? Because you have the list. So this is what this tool should do in exploration. Do you want to have a break now and then we can go back and because I've been right now for 1 hour and a half. So can we have a break now and then 10 minutes break? I'll pause the recording here.
I told Catherine you would ask her, and she will then.
Okay.
So are you just going to break it right now?
Yeah, we can break for 10 minutes. We still keep the recording
Okay.
running and...
Okay.
That was just
Okay, let's reconvene, guys, so we can just...
That's so that you can use it going forward, right? That wasn't a one-time workshop. That's take it home.
Okay, so let's convene and continue this discussion. So basically, what... yeah, this was quick 10 minutes. What we discussed is to have a reverse binary tree or decision tree diagram.
Yes.
You start from 4 years, 8 years, 12 years, whatever years, and you go backward every 6 months. You give splitting to a 3 months level. Why 3 months? Because you can actually go for a month's level. You can go for a week level. When you try to fill this tree, you should not try to focus to fill everywhere. So I can fill the level of details here. I maybe know level of details here only. Okay? Mm-hmm. I may know something happened here. But what you have to understand is whatever you fill underneath this node, it has to include whatever happened here and whatever happened here. Okay? So this, it will propagate from the lower level towards the root. This is the root. This is the root of the tree. And these are the branches. So the branches information should propagate backward.
So do you duplicate? So let's say...
Not necessary, but when you...
If I have a certification there, like your single bar there.
Yeah. If
what
I have a
other-
certification here,
Yeah.
at this level of filling,
Yeah.
you don't need to replicate it here.
Okay.
You don't need to replicate it here.
Okay.
But this is at the end of the day will map to a list.
But I think there are things that. I think there are many activities or things that you have done to get a certificate that could be that path
So
somehow.
that would be the details.
So where I have
Yeah.
the 3 bars, I would put, for example, that I did this course.
Yeah, so for example, this one here will be January to March 2014. So I have a certificate in January to March 2014.
But I took the course.
In year 2014, I have the certificate. In the branch of 2013, 2014, I have the certificate. For the last 4 years, I have the certificate. So having the information here does not negate. You don't need to duplicate them at this level.
Because you might say, well, I got a degree here, right? So I got the certification here. Oh, okay, I took the courses here. These are the courses I took. And so it feeds back.
And the more details you have, the better you have, better to position it in the later stage. Maybe some stuff you put there does not have any value. Like for example, I moved to a new home. What's the value of moving to a new home in offering any business? It might be not relevant.
Well, it depends the process of buying a new home, getting a mover. There's all kinds of stuff in there. Right?
If you are in the business of advising people how to settle quickly in a new home is a different story. But what I want to tell you is don't limit your imagination to what you offer. And try to quantify them. So for example, if you take a course, how many hours this course is? How much, what the grades you have? How much the exams you have? If you have a degree, did you have it with honor degree or not? I know so many who got a bachelor with honor and they never mention it till they came through this particular exercise.
So what about I've listened to over 45 audiobooks this year.
If you listen to over 45 audiobooks and you apply it on yourself, this can make you an expert. So what make you stand there is you studied so many areas and you end up giving the best of these areas, which allow you to compete against the producer of these books. So in one contest, we offer service for transformation. And you say, you know what, we studied 14 systems of personal development and positive transformations from energy, from law of attraction, from whatever. And we are also scholars and experts in 3 religions. Among the 17, here is the learning. Here is the outcome of all of them. If you are confused which one is better for you, follow these particular basics. And these the basics come from all of them. And if you satisfy the basics, you wanna go to a certain level, start now to explore, but do the transformational first. Don't explore without trying to work on yourself. So what got me in these areas is the need to try to withdraw rational information to say why is me and only me can offer this service. So if you help people, like for example, you help people in social media, when did you help them? How many did you help them? How many authors? How many speakers? How many companies? What's the size of these companies did you help? How many employees these companies are? Because from certain perspective, if you help a company which has 100,000 employees around the globe, and you help their core management, you can come and say, you know what, I helped 6 companies, and the total employment of this company is that much, and I helped the top management. this will position you in a different pocket or different authority level than anybody else. Remember, here we want to talk about me and me only, not this is me and me only, not everybody. Yes.
Catherine says she's helped 113 companies, 1 to 10 employees, and then she asked, is that really important as a number or the company names?
Based on either the numbers or the company qualifies. So if somebody work with like Cisco, with like IBM, so they will say, I helped 110 plus companies, including, and they list the top 5. I helped Nobel laureate. You know, when I helped the Nobel laureates, they didn't have Nobel, you know that? Because after they got Nobel, they don't talk to me anymore. But it doesn't matter, because in the history, I co-author papers with them. Okay, I went to, like, I stand in G20 platforms. I stand on G8 platforms. I was with these presidents. I was with this economic forums, and all of these former presidents exist in there. So if you went to an economic forum, for example, just go and get the list of individuals, and now you share the stage with these names. Because this is what happened. You stand there, you give the talk there after these individuals. You were in a panel, on the introductory panel, but the following panel is higher level panels, but you share the same panel platform. You don't feel shy of saying it. But first you need to discover it. So when you try to fill each node, after you fill, you try to qualify, you try to write something, qualification, which all about the wow factor. What makes this service wow? And we had so many discussions. Does it really has to be wow? Yes, it does, because you are the only one giving the service there. if it's not wow, why is it select you? Why you are the one who are able to give the service? Because in your department, if you're employed in your department, there might be some other people there. So why they select you? Why you are always the one who gave this course? When I did this for myself, and I start to count how many courses and how many summer training I did for different students, and then I start to add the nodes, I came up with a massive numbers. I came up with a massive numbers of hours of teaching. If I say it with my age, people cannot believe it.
So I could say I've been in seminars with Jack Canfield, with Deepak Chopra, with Dr. Wayne Dyer, with Esther Hicks, Greg Braden. I already said that, but, you know, kind of list those people that you've been in their seminars, their workshops.
You were their students. You were their mentees. They are your mentors. You know, and you also should list what kind of books you read. So if you read a book in particular in these areas,
spiritual books in the last year alone.
Okay. When somebody's saying I read 49 spiritual book or 49 book on a specific topic, on a specific topic, what does this mean? He's an expert in this area. He knows almost everything, but it needs one more qualification to it to make it a wow authority. So you have the foundation. So this particular exercise is to help you exploring the foundation of what you can do. Like I started a company back 1999, and I didn't realize this was one of the very early website development companies till I started to do this exercise. And when I start to fill this structure or this tool, the way to fill it is you have a starting point. Last 4 years, for example. And then you take these 4 years and you go for the following 4 years, if this is not sufficient. Then, when you fill like what we're filling here. Fill wherever you can level. This is, we call it level of granularity. Granularity of 1 week, of 3 months. If you have lower level, split it and to the lower level for now. The tree doesn't have to be balanced, which means that not all the nodes must have information. And then the following step, so the first step is you fill the information. The second step is the aggregation. So in the aggregation, I will go and say, I did this here, I did it here. So among these two particular information, what is common? These are two different periods, right? So I helped 10 clients here, I helped 12 clients here. So how many total clients I helped? 22. What's the wow factor about this client? Is this particular large company? I traveled, as you said, you traveled to 100 cities. I traveled to like 50 states in the US where I was able to communicate with individuals. For some individuals who will be helping in how to get a job or how to pass an interview. If they have been heavily interviewed for so many areas, they should be able to write. We have been interviewed here and here and here, and here are the questions. You can easily develop a guide how to pass an interview for Intel or one of these large companies and put it out there for $5 to $7 to be able to sell it. There is a market for that. And if you get the questions, you have the information, you can assemble them. I can show you how to assemble this question and get real information. And you build a booklet like that. There are a market like that around a specific time in the year because there are so many individuals are interested to join these companies. And all what you need to do is to market these reports. The stuff are not hard. I just need to be organized in a way. Okay?
Yeah, no, it makes sense. Because you don't realize all the stuff you've done until you actually take note of all the things you've done. So,
Yes, and everything you've done, you take notes of it. And remember, not everything we have to articulate.
I didn't realize I had done 17 workshops until just the other day. I looked at my list of workshops and there's 17. And I'm like, wow, that would probably be worth mentioning.
Yeah, but 17 might not be,
17 in 2 years?
in 2 years might not be the right number to give us the wow factor.
Right,
The question will be is, how many,
considering I've only been doing it for 2 years, I
how,
think
no,
17 is quite a few.
give me a chance here to just show you how you can position it in the right, in the positive way. How many total audience came to your workshop?
Yeah. Good question.
Well, let's say on average 15 times,
17.
15 times 17,
so 300.
300, 400. So if I stand and I say in the last year alone, you touched the life of 400 individuals. If the number is 200, if the number is 400.
That's a wow. That is powerful.
That is a wow. Like when people come and me and
Plus all
say,
my clients, so we can say 500.
when people come and say, what did you do? I established a program for entrepreneurship driving license where in the first year only, we certified 17,000 young entrepreneur to qualify them to get government support. 17,000. How many of them got the government support? Less than 300.
Are we going to do that?
This is what I did back in 2011, 2012. What do you mean? We can explore how you can get grant money. But the wow factor comes from what make you different. Oh, 17 workshop? I don't know what. 100 week a year, 104 a year? What make it? But if you talk about 400, 500 plus, usually use the plus. And if you don't have the plus number, if they're exactly 500, come teach me your course and I will be the 501, so you can write 500 plus. You never got stuck into specific numbers.
Well, yeah, they say 534 is a better than 500.
So it's 500, it's a 500 plus,
So maybe I should go and get the exact.
it's 500 plus or 550 plus, including this particular individual. So for example, you have been teaching individuals who became masters or who became trainers themselves later on. So this is something worth mentioning. You know what, guys? These particular trainers or these particular professors in different universities, like one of the students I coached and I helped early on. He was not my student. He was like a close friend, but I coached him through his career. He's receiving a big award in September. So when I go to this particular contest, part of my introduction is I coached in my life and his early career this particular individual. Some of the credential I have is I work with individuals like Graham Julian and Len Bruton, which is known in the area of filters and VLSI in Canada. This is our flagship researchers. I am there. They used to be my official mentors. And I'm proud of it, because if I stand here, you know that I am the product of these well-known established individuals. I worked with a specific Nobel laureate, so if I go in the contest of authority in these particular areas, I use these names. As I told you before, like I have enough degrees in my life, but when I stand about business, I never talk about my PhDs because it doesn't matter. What matters is the companies, what matters is what I develop for business, what matters is how much business education I was able to offer in my career. Is not what kind of degrees I have. But when I go to other areas of video technology or whatever I'm doing, I position this authority to give me more credibility there. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
So what I'm hearing from you is that depending on the circumstance and the niche that you're targeting towards, you will accordingly put together, based on this, information you're going to put out.
Yes.
Based on your presentation, based on...
Yes.
Okay.
Based on your offer in a specific niche. And it happened naturally. This stuff, I did not make it up. So I can show you how, I'll give you a quick example how this naturally happened. When you go into social gathering with your brothers, with your sisters, with your neighbors, in a social event, what do you talk about? How your kids got into competition, what happened in the community center last week, what a wow experience you had when you traveled last summer to this location. That's right. So we as a human by nature, we try to establish our authority in different contexts to gain some value. So when you go and socialize and talk about the barbecue or a cigar party or a cheese and wine party, and what you talk about, you don't talk about your business. You talk about other authorities. And we do it naturally, because if you don't have a story to tell about Hawaii, about Mexico, about Cuba, about what you did last time in Banff, you will not have authority to join the group. And you will find that they will go away. That's right. So we do it naturally. This is not a new science. Cuba. I love to go to Cuba. Okay, this is one of the best areas I love to spend my time. You know, it's very warm, very nice. Okay, we'll skip this conversation because. Okay, we'll skip it. But the point I want to drive at is when I explore what I have been doing in my life, when I aggregate the information, it should give me a wow factor. You want to get more on this step, or we're going to move? Okay. So the first step is to fill the information, do the aggregation of them, and then you need to classify towards a niche. So a niche or multiple niches. So for example, let's pick up a bookkeeping. A bookkeeper can be a bookkeeper for a solopreneur, a bookkeeper for a small company, a bookkeeper for a new energy company, a bookkeeper for a natural resources. So which one of these little niches you have been able to serve and you establish a wow factor that you are the one who can do it. When you talk about past life regressions or meditations, nobody in the communities events we have been seeing will tell us the value for that. People will assume whoever sitting in the audience understands the value. which is a wrong assumption, because if you come and say, when you do this meditation, this is what you will achieve. Maybe somebody never had meditation before, or maybe this is the first time to practice, will say, oh, let me give it a chance. Let me try. If you have new customers who wants to try it out, they are paying you money for that. So when you try to classify it and qualify it, you try to look at three elements. What are the pain points you solved? What's your solution? And can you relate or not? So if you have a pain point you solved, so for example, the fitness coach will say, I help somebody obese. It's not enough. If you help somebody 400 pounds to get down to 250, this is serious business, okay? This is now wow factor. So what kind of pain did you solve? And what's your solution? Or what is your secret sauce? What's your technique? And can you relate? Can you relate to others? Because once you relate, what will happen?
To relate to others means testimonials or former clients, or what do you mean with relate?
Relate means what kind of new customers you can help now. So relate, if you can relate, you now identify your target customers. So I give you an example. The problem I'm trying to solve is kids cannot find anything useful to do during summer. So I took my kids to Disneyland. Okay? I was able to manage them for 2 weeks in Disneyland. Can I relate to other people? Most likely not. Or I may be able to relate to people who are looking to spend scheduled time in Disneyland. If I can relate, it means I have a potential client. You have been helping somebody who have been lost in life, have been having confusion of their life, are not happy in their life. You give them a meditation or a course or a sabotage management system or self-esteem process or whatever it is. Now, can you relate to others? I helped my mother. My mother was in a pain. I helped her with my solution. Can I relate to other mothers or not? So once you classify, quantify, you have the pain, you have the solution, and you can relate, you can talk now about customers. Yes?
There's something in my personal experience, as far as pain, is concerned, I can easily relate to people. Like I can get in a conversation and start finding, find a pain, get a solution. The technique, it's basically the same for everybody, right? However, I don't know how I could simplify that connection and the way how I find that pain with people and put it in a paper and in a marketing, or just say, this is it. That's the challenge I have.
We will talk on the next 4 hours, which is not today, how to articulate and communicate your authority. We are right now in the discovery situation. Can you discover your own authority? Remember, this course is 12 hours course. Okay, we are right now.
Having it into 8, or we're only doing 2/3 of it.
No, we are doing 4 and 4 and then 2 and 2. So we will have minimum of 12 hours of contact point, because what I'm trying to drive is a value. We invented these techniques and instrumentation to drive values. So we will start with this week 8 hours, and then we will week after, based on your schedule, we will come up with the other 12 hours, and this will be a very personalized hours, very personalized experience most likely a one-on-two or one-on-one kind of activity. But so in the next section, we will talk about how you can communicate this authority, and we'll also talk about if I don't have this authority, how I can create it. Because you can actually create this authority. I'm not talking about you create it with integrity. So the authority comes from awards, from recognition, so you can nominate yourself for some awards. You can look for people to nominate you for some quick community awards. And what this will do is you'll be nominated for these awards. So it will help enhance your authority. You want to be on the radio or TV because this is what you are missing. You should be able to find a way to be interviewed on a radio or a TV, which is another month to 2 months exercise, but it's achievable, it's doable. It's not hard. You need to have an article about you in a local community magazine or on a local newspaper or on a website or on a blog. You can, because among you around the table, at least each one of us has one blog where we can feature others. That's why when I talk about your authority and how to win your authority, you have first to understand, discover what you are competent of and what you are capable of. What's wow in it? Then you wow it more, and we need to work as a group around the table. And that's why we have the mastermind, the mindsets group and mastermind groups and working groups, because no one can promote himself. You have to be promoted with integrity through the community. And one key support is when any one of us has an event, everybody will come to support. They may pay money or not pay money, different story, but if someone have an event and nobody else coming to support them from his group, what does it mean? Nobody's trusting him. That's right. That's why all the time when we have events coming, we at least say we are interested or we are going. And if we have the time and money and energy, we can actually show. I like personally to show up, to show there. Sometimes I cannot relate. I went to events where I cannot believe in the concept itself. It's against my analytical mind. But I am there to support this individual. I paid the fees to support him. Okay? When I do this, I expect when these individuals, when I have my events, they usually come to my events as well. Because we are a core group of a specific interest in launching a specific service. And this is how we help each other. Okay? Does this answer your question?
That I will find out eventually, yes.
Yes, ma'am.
All I'm going to say to may I?
Yeah, sure.
All I'm going to say to you is, number one, your question. The fact that you're questioning and you're wanting to dive that deep into it to figure out what the frick am I offering, that the next person that walks in is going to know 100% that's the person I need to be with. Let's set up a conversation. You'll get that.
But that's the thing. The challenge I have, it is how I can put that into paper.
I know
and
that.
words.
I'm completely aware of that.
Because
And you get it.
I mean,
Yeah.
when I'm in front of somebody, I can get it, and I normally do,
Record it.
right?
Somebody phones you up and you're giving them your shtick. Record it. Because when you're saying it, you don't even realize half the things you're saying.
No.
But when you record it, you go
And
back and
this-
you go like, wow,
Yeah,
where'd that all come from?
yeah.
I spoke.
Talking to me right now.
Yeah,
too.
no,
I need to
because
record my own.
it-
I told you before in the discovery session we have, that's fitness. I have a personal interest in fitness and weight loss business. And one way to market it is to have the before and after. One way to market it is to have the testimonials and all of this. So what you should generate, it's a before and after sequence of images, testimonials, and live videos of what you do. But when you take the videos, you take them upside down, up down. not bottom up. Because the most recent videos you have are not representative. You need to get a $20 holder for the iPhone or the phone, so it can be at the eye level or from top down. Okay? Testimonials and before and after for weight loss or for fitness are magic. Are magic tools. So in the course, part of this course, I'll give you a supplement material, which is a membership in our website, which give you some extra material we did not discover here. It talks about specifics, like how you attract Facebook, how you can locate this authority, how you can search it, stuff like that. And this supplement material, there is a specific area which describe in particular fitness, because fitness is a highly competitive market. Well, almost everybody in fitness.
Yeah.
So it talks specifically about fitness. Okay? Now, any questions? Can you relate? Okay. So we talked about you fill the information, you aggregate them, you classify and quantify. So I give each one of you a A3 sheet. So please, next time when you come back, try to articulate on it. 4 years or some kind of years, 8 years or 4 years of authority in different areas.
Can we do like a mastermind, or like in a mind?
Do it whatever you want to do it, but
just because a mind map, I think it would be so much easier.
But I want you to see it on one page. Like I want you to see it, and we bring it so we can discuss it, because there are some areas there it might be interesting to offer something beyond what you are offering.
For Wednesday?
For Wednesday, yeah.
I like this. I like that you're doing it this way. I think it's personally like to get the information. It's applicable. It's something that we can work on and then bring it back.
I've
That,
already
to me,
shifted. Like,
I like that.
The fact that I could say that I've done 17 workshops. The fact that I could say
It's not 17 workshop, my friend.
What?
We need to know how many live did you touch in a 17 workshop.
Well, let's say 459.
Okay.
I'm sure it's more than that.
Which means at least one person every 2 days. Like every 48 hours I touch on the average. All of these are the same information, by the way.
Said
Because
differently.
if you want to say 17 workshop, average
But the
15,
numbers are higher and more impressive. Yes.
it's not impressive. It's, when we did advertising studies, we say
Well, there's more emotion in the fact that you've helped 579 people. Because a workshop, what is that?
Yep.
There's no emotion in that. There's no.
if you can stand and say I transformed the life of 500 plus or 540 individuals in the last 2 years while I'm just starting, people say,
Massive.
I
wow.
really claim that I've changed those lives because not everybody's a fan of James.
It doesn't matter, but everybody, when he went through James' program, they learned something.
Why is
And
it on
it
one
impacted
hand?
their
Why
life.
is it on one hand? You say to me, I did 17 workshops, and you say that with conviction, and you say that with look at me.
Because I did.
But
do
when we
17.
go over to this phase, you question yourself.
Well, no, because I do know that there's people out there that they didn't get what they intended, I guess, and then they blame me.
Okay, all right.
Okay,
all right.
this is one thing I want to talk to you, James, about it in a one-on-one kind of setting, because and this is for all of us, and I mentioned this before, when we start to provide public seminars and public speeches, which is defined as talking to 3 people or more in a room, there is a sequence of statements and sequence template you have to follow. So the average IQ Canadian American, the average person with an average IQ, can grab more information and relate to your heart, connect with your heart. I know you talk from your heart, but there is a sequence has to be there. you do need to work on this sequence to increase the value of what you do. And when you come and say, I have 17 workshops and the guys came in my first 10 workshops, I can share with you, my friend, the secret. In my very first 6 workshops, I had no sign up. In my last workshops, I had 90% sign up for a reason. So when you kind of say started 2 years, which I love the honesty of it. I started over the last 2 years. And I touched the life of 540, and everything is developing, guys. People can relate. People can relate. But the question will be is, and I want just you to look at this example, okay? So we go around and we look at buy one, get one free. And 50% off. What's the third one?
Free.
There's a third sign you see around.
Everything must go.
No, it's you buy one, get one free. Means what? Means
2 for 1.
It means
and the third one, thank you, my friend, 2 for 1. Which one will relate better to a client? Which one 60% will buy?
Buy one, get one.
Depends on the person. Some
Let's talk about clothes merchandise. Which one will relate better to the clients?
I have to say 50%.
Buy one, get one.
I believe it would be buy one, get one free.
Marcel?
I think it depends on what kind
Which
of
is the
person
same
that is.
thing.
Some are for the numbers.
Pants,
they would go
pants or shirts or
for,
whatever.
what the person is like. Some are number freaks. They would go for the 50% off, and others are
But I can tell
number
you,
with numbers that would
Wars,
go for buy one.
Wars
get
is
one
going
free.
with the
So
first one right
the
now.
individuals,
2 for 1, I would say is
people on the internet on the
Catherine says 50% off.
50% off.
Yeah, most,
The analysis and the studies showed that buy one get one free will be more attractive in shoes, pants, shirts.
Well, I
Ready-
know because that's what Moore's Menswear is doing. I was in there yesterday, and that's exactly.
And
what
Sport
they're
Check does the buy one and get one
Free.
all the time, in shoes especially.
Yep.
I
Yep.
work
Because 60%, the other 40 will relate with this too. And all of this marketing analysis have been done in a specific environment with specific vendors, but the 3 of these
Are the same thing.
are basically, if something for a $10,
Yeah.
you buy 2, each one is $5 each.
Right.
No logic. But this is what attracts people more.
Well, it's new too, because you got to think the other 2 have been around for 20, 30 years. Because buy one, get one. Really.
Okay, from the vendor perspective, which one is more money?
Which one is more money?
Which one? If you are the vendor, if you are the providers, the seller, which one is more money?
first one.
What do you mean by more?
You can make more money with it.
No. They're all the same.
So one answer is
Depending
none.
on, well, none in this, depending on your markup. You haven't told me what the markup
You know,
is.
if you go with 50% off, you
It's
only
still
have
the
to buy
same.
one.
Still
You
the
have to buy
same.
one. Oh, one.
So this is one item.
Oh, so well, obviously then the buy one get one. If you're getting 50% off, you're only buying one. Half of what you pay for the original one.
What about 2 for 1?
Amount.
You're buying one and getting 2.
Which one you make more money per merchandise? More cash.
The top one.
None.
The top one.
The top one. Because there is an always.
Okay, quit.
There's an always disclaimer here. Buy one, get one free,
Yeah.
Yeah.
but you pay the highest price.
Oh.
So if you buy $11.99 shirt and the $10.99 shirt, you pay $11.99. And guess what? Majority of the staff over there will be different prices.
Purpose.
The only way to get the same shirt to the same color twice, which one for me, one for my brother, to make a champion team, okay? Or if you have twin kids. But so from vendor perspective, so this is why when we talk about, we are selling stuff, we are positioning stuff with integrity. But how you want to say it? Is it 17 workshop, average of 20 each, so it's 340, live I touched, or I will have to say only 17 workshops? Do I have to talk about one live per 2 days, average of 3 persons I touch per week, or 340? All of them are the same, by the way. All of them in the averaging numbers are the same.
Which one?
Which one will relate better to majority of your clients? The only way is to have the 2-3 messages and see which one will resonate. The only way is to try out to say all. Or one way I do is I aggregate. I say I touched 340 people, which means 1 every 2 days, which happens through 17 workshops. I can set it on a statement if I have, but this is an example to you. Yes. Remember, our clients are one client, and our clients need to be, you need to take the hand of your clients, walk him the journey to join your program. You don't expect this client, he can have a brain to think about it, he can have emotional to make. You need to make it simple, because the minute the client will think about something, the first thing he will think about, okay, can I examine other programs? So things need to be straightforward. That's why I'm saying, if you are doing a workshop, there are some templates and some information how you can sell from the stage, or how you can invite people through your system. You just need to use this because you are helping your client right now to relate better to your service. If you come and say, I am not in the selling business, invite them to your journey. Offer them your service. Give them an offer. But you need to follow the structure, because it has been proven that this structure is the best structure to have a higher conversion. Why it has a higher conversion? Because it relates better with the average IQ customers. If you have a valuable service and you cannot offer it to the average IQ customer, you are basically don't provide your service to your clients. You are doing a disservice for them, which is a complete different topics we will reach later in the program. But this is give you an example why you need to figure out what will resonate better. What is the wow factor? Sometimes we stand and say, how many hours? Like when I look at this information, I said, how many hours did I teach in my life? 22 years a professor in 4 universities, teaching 4 days a week, 6 hours every day. You know how many hours this will be teaching? It's a lot of hours. A lot of hours. So when I stand on the stage and say, this individual taught 10,000 hours of workshops and training, I did much more than that. Extremely much more than that. And it was the same contest. So the way you have to position it, the way to have to position it to your clients. For logical people, you give them the logic. For heart-related people, we're stuck here. Wow. And this information has to go through all of your articulations and communication messages. It will go through your workshop, through your bio, through your website, through your courses, through every single thing. I am the guy who are able to use these techniques to touch life of, and when you say touch the life of, it doesn't mean you give them values. You touch them.
Me or they hated me.
It doesn't matter, they hate you or like you,
The majority like it.
okay?
Some even love
You will not entertain your clients 100%. You usually have a conversion rate of 20 to 30% only if your client will advocate for you. And there are another third who just takes the service because you are the only one around or the only ones they know, and it works like that. So these numbers are not. Okay? Now, the following step in the or step number 4 is you need to validate your authority. How to validate the authority?
Certifications or that, or somebody saying that you are the greatest thing ever.
testimonials, social proof.
Okay, so let's just talk about it. So certification,
Or somebody recognizing you. Like,
testimonials,
recognition.
recognition,
Awards,
Yeah.
social proof,
awards, which is recognition.
awards. What else? Writing a blog, have a website,
Interviews,
interviews. Okay. So you need to articulate this authority and have some individuals to validate this authority. Now, if you don't have, if I imagine you start a new business right now and you want to penetrate this market, so how you get into this authority recognition? What is the quickest way? If I ask you the question, in 2 minutes, can you validate your authority?
share your experience.
With whom? In 2 minutes, can you validate your new authority in 2 minutes?
Can
Yep.
you say that somebody is your coach or mentor?
Okay.
That it's a good.
Let's give it an example. Let's give it an example. If I want to say your authority is how to drink coffee in a neat way, can you validate this authority in 2 minutes?
Well, I've been drinking coffee since I was 24 years old.
How to validate
Nobody.
how to validate them in this way in 2 minutes?
Testimonial.
How? In 2 minutes? You have 2 minutes only to validate you drink coffee in a nice way.
Experience.
How you can validate it?
Experience.
That you have been awarded for drinking
Strong.
the most coffee in the last 5 years.
Can I show you how?
Yeah.
Juanita, would you mind sharing with the group that I drink the coffee in a neat way?
Pardon? Oh,
Would-
I'm sure.
Okay.
Okay.
Ask the one next to you. Ask the one next to you to validate your authority. If you have no validation, if you have no testimonial, if you have no blog, if you have no website, ask the one next to you to interview you, to repeat the information, to talk about you, to introduce you. Many of the time when we have workshops, I get somebody else to introduce me. Why? When we go to networking events, I get somebody else with me. Very rarely I will go to a networking event on my own. Why? So when we go stand and somebody wants to introduce me for my business, and I will talk, it will be 2 against 1 who know who I am. One is me and one is my body. And when he will go and introduce himself, it will be 2 against 1. So we will have automatic credibility. It works. And people will say, wow, we won't like to do that.
So would that be introduction?
It can be introduction, it can be listing you on your blogs, liking, sharing your information, talking about it, being interested in what you offer. I was launching a new product 2 days ago, and this product actually was trending because I got many. I went to so many groups, I know so many people, and everybody was sharing. So suddenly, in like less than half an hour, I had 102 talking about this new product. And I have some few sales happen after that. It works. Yeah, the sale is $7 an offer or $3 an offer is not significant dollars, but the theory works. It's not hard. The first place to validate your authority is to search them on Google. So if you want to understand does this authority sells or not, how you validate them, you write them on Google. And just in the Google bar, you will find if people search about that or not. Because when you go to Google now and you write in Google search something, it gives you what people search about.
I put past life regression Calgary and James Kerouac came up as one of the actual, you know how it gives you like 10 different things
Yes.
that relate? I was one of them.
It's cool because you are now dominant, but the question I have for whatever you are doing is why you cannot articulate the value. I do have my own view of spiritual stuff, because when people go to church or go to whatever they want to go to, spiritual will be something, and this was a bigger discussion we can have later on, but if you can articulate the real value for an average individual going through these particular techniques, and what will happen, which is never came as articulation, you will attract individuals. If I want to understand how the market work, and we use the standard examples we understand, there are 3% of the potential market on the average are buying this service. There are 7% will buy the service at certain point, and they know. And there are 30%, another 30% here are not aware of your service. And there are 30% which will say no for sake of no. And we also say in the training for sales, no does not mean no forever. No means I'm not ready, I'm not convinced, no now, my circumstances. So we don't, as an individual trying to get into sales, no does not mean rejections. You need to hear 11 to 21 no's. And then you go back next year. But, so, and there are 30%, if circumstance will change, they will buy. So whatever technique you are using, if you come and say, I am using this technique, who are you targeting? You are targeting these particular individuals here. If you want to say, I'm using Reiki, I'm using acupuncture, I'm using... So if you are saying, I'm using acupuncture for treatment, it means what? You are looking for individuals who are currently buying acupuncture, which is about 3%.
But when you talk about the pain, that's when you hit that 30%.
Yes, but listen here. When you talk about 3% individuals interested in acupuncture only, and you are offering acupuncture service, what are you doing now? You are competing against what? Against price, against geographical accessibility, which means I am in northwest of the city, you can come to me because I'm northwest, but if I relocate to southwest, I will lose all of my clients. Okay? You are competing against price, against service, fast service or whatever type, and these competitions are not fair because you are just starting there, or you start not long time ago. You are competing against the establishment. But if you want to talk about integrated approach for pain relief or happy life, it's different story. Because If I want to look at pain relief, I will get individuals in acupuncture, in massage, in whatever, can consider my service. So now I will have wider market I can talk to. If I talk about how to have a happy life, it's different than I'm teaching you how to meditate. And if you actually trying to teach me meditation, you know what? On YouTube there are so many free meditation videos. And guess what? They do have music with it. And guess what? Their voices are digitally tuned to a level, a frequency level, to connect with others. Which is, some of these frequencies have been proved in different markets. That these frequencies can heal some stuff. And these are superimposed frequencies, which is you cannot do it with your voice. So if you teach me meditation, you are in a fraction of the 3%. If you teach me belief system to have a happy life, you are looking for this 67%. And you are actually overcoming the spiritual thing, because many of the spiritual individuals would like to get spiritual beliefs from the church, or from the mosque, or from the synagogue, or from where they have their beliefs in. So this is my personal position. If you would like to offer a service to make people happy, now you are open the gate to everybody. And you need to teach them one platform, one service, not 4 techniques. It's too much to have 4 techniques. Because there is no value. People will get lost with the techniques. So we standed, and we had one of the individuals we were helping, and he was offering 5 softwares. It's too much. In 3 days, you are trying to sell five different softwares. Name them one platform, and give different capabilities, but to be one platform. You sell one product in one workshop or one seminar in one technique for one client. That's it. If 1/3 of your client will join, it's a big number, by the way, because usually in seminars the conversion rate's about maybe 3 to 12%. If you have seminars where you have 30, 40%, 60% conversion rates, these are huge numbers, huge percentage. It's not achievable by any other means. So if you want to talk about that, you don't offer me 4 techniques, because the 4 techniques are confusing, lots of them in 3 hours. And then you don't come and say, I give you one-on-one in one technique for 10 times the price, because I had the 4 techniques in 4 hours, in 3 hours. I cannot conclude in my mind the value why to pay that much. I know I'm talking about very specific and a very vague way for others, but I understand I'm touching a specific point. And I would love to see you doing it in a different way. And try out, like what's wrong with just risking one of the workshops to try out in this way, in a different way? Yes, ma'am.
Would doing it the way that you're mentioning not be more financially beneficial and more valuable to the potential client? To me, it would be, because if I attended something where you give me information like you're doing today, but you give me the download that blows me away, and I walk away going, I can't even think anymore, then I'm no good, because my brain's been blown, I'm done. But by giving us what you have and me coming back for another 4 hours and being able to apply it is massive. And it's the same with offering a product. Yes?
Yep.
One product.
One product. It's only one product.
So,
like here in this particular workshop is a good example. Like this workshop is what? How to explore your authority. What's the relation between your authority and the 3-7%? These are marketing schemes. These are sales techniques. This is our overcoming sales rejection. I'm not teaching this today. I'm teaching only how you can explore your own authority, how you give it the wow factor, and how you can make it better and work about it to make it better and be convincing for an average IQ individual who can be your customer. I always say an average IQ individual because the information has to be simplified, easy to understand. People don't need to think about it. You are going through my program, you have a sad life, you'll be happy life. Why you have a sad life? Because you overwhelm yourself with so many of your previous life beliefs. So we have a way to get you out of that, to move you, to take the bad thoughts there, to do something about it. You are trying to sell books. You cannot sell books. I give you a new technique to sell books. It's one technique. Yeah, the technique works on 20 different social media platforms, which is I'm teaching in my course. But if I start to say, I will give you teaching for your workshop for Facebook, Twitter, Google, Pinterest, Pine, Path, whatever, Snapchat. What the heck is 9? Do you want me to come and learn 9 systems? You know, I'm not using all the 9. But if you come and say it's a social media promotion workshop, I will come and I will realize that I only have Facebook and Google maybe. Or maybe I only have Facebook. So the other ones I will sit there and I will not claim the marketing package because I know, and now I realize that I need to have presence in these areas. And I'm not competent in computers, so guess who I will hire to help me? Who I will consult with if I got into problems? It's the suppliers, it's the provider, it's the speakers. Because I got stuck. Who will I call? It's the speakers who try to set me up with Pinterest. That's right. So the speakers can make more money, can offer different service. But if you come and say, I'm teaching you LinkedIn, Twitter, and it's too much. I'm teaching you only social media. I'm teaching you how to make money out of the social media, how to monetize social media. It's a different spin where you find so many interested. Remember, in this one, there are 30% are not aware of your service. And maybe not any other service similar, okay? It's not only your brand. It's maybe are not aware that acupuncture will treat pain. They never believed in it. I have been in scenarios where they offer you an Indian belief system, a Chinese belief system, a Thai belief systems, and the whole belief systems have been in one presentation. How to be happy or success in life. That's it. And you go there and you know that you will be happy. And because you know you'll be happy, you'll attend the learning and you'll come out happy. Although the learning has nothing to do with being happy or not. Because the message is how to be happy. So this is the gap I see in different individuals trying to establish authorities. What your authority will do to us. How you articulate it. Okay? Yes, ma'am.
I think you answered, but so if we talk about social media, for example, you do a workshop of social media. We're gonna call it that way, social media. There are thousands of different, platforms, and then you have that big workshop that you do about social media. But then after that, you actually split it. Instagram workshop. Let's say LinkedIn and Facebook workshop. Is that something that it can be more, more going to the niche kind of idea?
Yes.
Because you're giving the big picture of your knowledge and
yes.
where you're an expert at.
Yep.
But then after that, you start saying, because I think you will go more into the 30% because you split it
yep.
in the different areas, right?
Yep. So one of the launch we did last week was 30 tips on social media sources. And then the actual one-on-one is something completely different. Mm-hmm. But when you give an intro night or an intro report or whatever, it will be one of them was the top 10 tools, which was very straightforward. We have just 10 websites, and they say these are 10 tools for bloggers. 30 tools for automatic platforms. And then behind that there are videos. There are 10 videos, which you will have access to this information because once we have the portal running, which is we should be able to promise by Wednesday each one will have a password and username and go and see this material. we will include all of these courses as part of the packages we offer. So there are tons of information there. So the point I want to try to say is, if I want to go and say I'm doing social media marketing for Facebook, who am I targeting here? The individuals who are buying service for Facebook. But if I want to come and say, I'm showing you how to sell more product and make more money off the social media network, maybe some individuals here will believe that Facebook and Instagram are not for them. And when they sit there and see the numbers, they say, wow, you know what? Let's give it a try. And now they become your client. I'm giving here an example. And we have so many discussions about, is LinkedIn for us or not? If Facebook for us or not? If Instagram and Google Plus for us or not? And I think we concluded in the previous sessions what's good for us. That's right. That's all of them are needed for a reason, to be able to have enough traffic so all the new algorithms will know that your information exists. That's right. So when we discuss this, we have to understand, are you behind the 3%? And there is a common book we read, and many of us aware of, called Red Ocean, Blue Ocean, where everybody in a bloody competition called Red Ocean buying the current service. Are you willing to compete on 3% when you start? Or hopefully you get into the 30% here, and they will convert within 1 to 2 months to your service. If individuals will compare, and to be honest with you here, if individual will compare your service with establishment, most likely they will buy from the establishment, not from your service. It's nothing against you. It's just how the establishment is perceived. If you want to get into the niche, which have some establishment, you need to target audience there who are not in buying process, who will make decision to buy. And how we target them? We target them through the different techniques we started, like how to build a magnet, how to build a lead pages, how to do sales funnels. And then these guys will conclude. Okay? One more thing. Whenever you give a seminar or a presentation, in your intros, you have to target the top 4 here. Which is not many of us will do. And that's why when we teach how to do a seminar and workshop, we are different. Because when you talk about your nuggets, when you talk about who's your experience, who did you help, why this technique is useful, when you overcome rejections of buying your service, you need to target this 1, 2, 3, and number 4. You know why you want to target number 4? People who are not aware in your system, who most likely are not in your workshop. People are not aware of your product, most likely are not part of your workshop. Why do you need to target them?
They might know somebody who is.
Because yes, exactly. Your audience, most likely they know somebody who will come and say, this is not right. So they can convince them and bring them over. So when you establish your structure to address and connect from your heart to the heart of the average IQ client, you have to target this. When your stories are crafted, you have to target. But everything started with what? With what is your authority. So coming back to the organizations today, we studied this. I showed you a tool, and the tool can be used to explore the authority. We talked about 4 things. I will talk about the other ones as well. We talked about to fill the information in the tool for the last 4 years, 8 years, 16 years. Start somewhere. If you cannot start with the last 3 months. Then add another 3 months. Then add another 3 months. The tool is very flexible to start. If you don't like the months, start with the week. Start with the hours. If you want to teach how to breathe and how to exhale and inhale, you may start by the seconds or the minutes, okay? Mm-hmm. But you start somewhere, and then you can build. The tool is flexible enough to go in a high granularity or a low granularity level, in a larger view or a smaller view. Then you aggregate among the nodes to get information. Then you classify and quantify them based on pain points you solved and how can you relate. Because this is a business. And then you start with how to validate. How to validate that this authority will sell. One technique is you search in Google. All the certification, testimonial, recognitions, all of this stuff are equivalent to validations. And the next one will be who else has similar authority.
That aren't just paid ads.
Who else in the market selling a service with similar authority? So everybody you hang around with are selling similar authority. That's right. If you want to talk about Deepak Chopra, you want to talk about Tony Robbins, you want to talk about Les Brown, you want to talk about all of these names, they are selling similar authorities. Maybe, I don't know. If you want to talk about sales training, you have Brian Tracy, you have so many other people selling sales training. Now, what makes you special again is this authority. Maybe location, time, convenience, price, whatever. But you have to be honest with yourself. Okay? Clear? Can you relate to this? There are so many other techniques you will see in one of the videos we have. It will actually talk about how you go to a similar website and figure out how they can market and how they can sell this stuff. So the video, I will leave this to the videos because, as I said, like the videos we have is complementary to what I'm explaining here. You can also check their websites. Okay? Now, the next step, after we validate the authority, what we need to do? We need to articulate. So now we came up with a specific authority. And we believe this authority will sell something, that's right? So what we need to do? We need to articulate. You need to articulate this authority. And when you articulate for a reason that this authority should resonate. And remember that I write grammar by heart, so don't comment on it, okay? So you need to articulate and resonate with individuals about this authority. How you can do that?
Website.
Before even you do website, before you everything, anything. This is will articulate and resonate to do what? To sell what? To sell a product or a service, that's right? Which will come when we talk about Win Your program, we will come and explain what kind of product and service you can do. So how you can articulate this authority and when? And to whom? You should articulate it right now.
Yeah.
Today I got an email from someone. She said, I'm offering a new product in September. Would you like to partner with me in marketing my product? And here's my product and this is why people can buy it from me. If you sell this to if you send this message to your closed network, what will happen? You will get from them feedback. If you have your authority and you start to publish them on your Facebook, your website, if you do have a website, people will come back and tell you what's wrong with it. You will be surprised their comment. Okay? So you need to articulate this authority and tie it to a product and service. So come to my workshop because this is who I am. Come to my workshop because this is what I did.
So in other words, you're sharing all the things we've been talking about, plus a call to action.
Yes. So next time you don't tell me I'm doing a workshop and I will only do the marketing the last week of the 1 week before the workshop. This is not. I didn't want to comment at the time because people have to be open to listen to whatever criticize or comment I have sometimes. That's why I always ask for permission. Because if you are not open, I basically you will resist anything I'm trying to help, and I'm here to help. Okay. So if you can articulate early enough, this is what my offer is, and this is my authority is. You can test if this is working or not. How you can articulate them? Very simple. Get a report, share it. Get a video clip, share it. Tell people, here is who I am. Here is what I do. So when you do this, you will see how many people will resonate for that. One technique I learned from someone, he will start a very simple group on Facebook. Okay? And he will write about himself, specific bio, and why this group is important. And he will just send the groups out and see how many people will join the group. And then how many people will be active on this topic. And then at this point he can make a decision if there is interest for him to be on this group. There is an individual I know in UK. She runs a group of 300,000 individuals on how to sell books on Kindle. And she goes on Fiverr and charges $14 to introduce your book to her network. And she makes a good amount of dollars. Not bad. For having nothing. Just moderate a group of 300,000 individuals on Kindle, and anybody wants to put their books, market their books to her group, they pay her $14. She has good traffic, by the way, because you can see how many marketing there. It took her less than 6 months to put this business together. What's her authority? She published 3 books on Kindle before. There is nothing there, but she makes money. Yes.
Catherine was saying that her calendar's closed 6 weeks out from an event, right? She's not going to market it the day before or do that kind of thing. You know, it's closed 6 weeks out. So you should have been marketing at least 6 weeks before. Am I right in that, Catherine?
Yep. Because I know there were some discussions around this table before that I only advertised for my event in the last week or two. And this is something like, if you have an event, you put it out there. You never know.
Yeah, but you're not paid advertising it 6 weeks out.
I would say paid advertising has to be 6 weeks out. I personally, I promise you last time, I personally, my personal experience, when you had your first event, I would love to come to support you before even we have these relationships, right? And I promise you, and if you go to my post, I promise you, I said, I'm sorry to miss this one, I won't be in the next one. So I commit myself to be in the next one. I could not have a full commitment because my partner had something going on, and what saves you is you will be ending by 1 because her other function is starting from 1. So what happened is we came 10 to 1, and that's why we had to leave very quickly at 1 because she had another function in southeast of the city at 1 o'clock, which she catched around 1:30 or 2, so it was okay for her social function. So I know that she had this function 3 weeks or 4 weeks ago. So if your event were not at 10 o'clock, were not ending by 1 or noon, we wouldn't be making it there. And I didn't want to come on my own because I know that she loves this stuff. So I was coming to support you, but I wanted also her to take value from whatever happened. So this is my personal situation. So we always have a question about how long you can advertise for an event. When we did the success code, for example, we had 1 month. We couldn't get so many people to commit in a month to come for a day events, right? So there's always this question. So people should try to market these events as early as it can because usually people don't come. We had situations where our workshops have subscribers and they signed up 6 months, 6 weeks, 8 weeks ahead, and they came and they canceled the last day. And they forced us to move into another event. So the next workshop we had the date set because 2 or 3 of the individuals who paid money for coming for the last workshop, they said they cannot make it. And we honor our word that if you sign up for one, you can schedule for any other one. So that's why we came together with September 30th to October 2nd for our next workshop because there are individuals signed up for the first one and paid VIP packages and they didn't show up. They said they had emergency or something. So this is why you need it. So we have to talk about it. But my point here about authority, the minute you start to figure out a little bit of different authority, you have to reflect it in a bio or in material and articulate them and send them to resonate with your people because you cannot just be open and say, here I am. I am this guy in green and I did this particular exercise. I found that I'm now orange and you wait for 2 weeks and say, oh, I'm orange. People have to see the degradation from green to orange for your personal credibility. Sometimes we articulate the authority by having blogs, by start to sending articulated blogs or messages. So your crowd will be able to resonate with you and move to this particular authority. Okay? Any questions? Can you relate, guys? Do you want to have your second break? Yeah,
We deserve it.
yeah, we can have just a
Are we
second.
having a break?
Yeah, we need to have a break now because we just come back for the last hour.
Okay. It was off. I'm putting it back on.
What's off?
Now it's on. Okay.
The recording, yeah, I switched the lab recording through the break. So, okay, so we promised to have 4 hours. We start at 5:30, so we'll finish at 9:30, including breaks. You know, adult learning is 50 minutes per hour. So we have another 40 minutes to go or so. So to drive a value, I want to just go through if you have any questions. Or you want to have a specific topic or question related to authority. You want to...
Can't think of anything. Nope. I'm sure you've got lots to feed.
Catherine says no.
Yeah, I have lots, and I have lots. These are not theory. These are stuff which I applied myself. Technically, since 1992, actually since maybe 1996, 1997. So I apply this technology on myself early on, not with this current format, but I use it. I felt one time in my life that I need somebody to endorse me for something. So I was looking for endorsers. I felt one time that I have to publish a paper with a specific group, so I get more credibility. So I worked on it. So if you do the exercise itself, which is a reverse decision tree, and you do the aggregation backwards, you should be able to identify the gaps you have. How you get to know there is a gap? You need to figure out who else has the same authority. And you need to identify the gap. So maybe the gap you have is you don't have enough workshops. You don't have enough seminars. You don't have enough webinars. You don't have enough awards.
You don't have a program.
You don't have a program. The program, we have another 12 hours, which is because the size of the group would love to have it when everybody's available. But we talk about the first offer is Win Your Authority, and the automatic one will be is Win Your Program. Because the program will be the business plan of your offer based on your authority. So if you know who you are and what you can do, you can offer now a program. And this is how the program will be. There are only literally 12 sources of incomes you can make in knowledge-based economy. That's it. You pick up few of them and you do it. And the others will be supporting. So when we talk about Win Your Authority, Win Your Program now, how you position your book, how you position your seminars, your workshops, your websites, your everything are based on these two elements. And these are the gaps in every other program. I had today a discussion with professional speaking associations, individual, and she's the president of the organization. I said, what I do in Win Your Brand is different than anybody else. She said, why? We have similar program in our service. I said, no. There is no single program which will tell you, this is what you are good at, and this is how you offer services. Let's position the rest. I don't teach skills. I will never teach you how to pronounce English because English is my third language or fourth language. I will never come and say, this is how your website should look like. But I will tell you, this is what you need to have there. This is what you need to have here. This is how you organize it. I'm all about the business side, organization, structure of how you can deliver your message. We will never come and tell you, here is your book. But we'll tell you, you need a book in this title. And you need to practice, and you need to sell, and pre-sell your books on Kindle, on Amazon, on whatever. Pre-sell them. So you know that your audience are waiting for your books. You have been bragging about somebody have 12 books, 19 books, 10 books, 4 books. And the question for you guys is, how many books do you have? And why you don't have one?
We're in the process of creating them.
If you are in the process of creating them, get us a title. We will put a cover for you and you can pre-sell them. Because the minute you are an author of a forthcoming book, it's a complete different authority level we talk about.
Now, you did say when we write a book, it's not the book that we're passionate about, it's a book that sells.
It's not book that sells. It's book to support the program which you are selling. Because there is no money in books, and there is no money in public speaking, by the way, which is, I'm a professional member of a Canadian Association of Public Speaking, which is like NSA, and I stand and say that there is no money in
Unless
being,
you're selling a program.
unless you are selling a program or you are hired by a company to do training and selling their program. Because some of the public speaker will be what? Will be a promoter of a sales workshop or a training workshop or an HR workshop. And they go around and teach others this content. So, in my experience, there is no money in books. Because how much profit you make on a book? $10, $20, $30, $40, $50, $50 you make a profit on a book. You know how much this book will be? Not less than $70, $80 if you are self-published. And if you publish with a publisher, it will be not below $200 for you to make $50. But if I assume you have $50 in a book, you need to make $5,000 for a minimum living in a month. You need to sell 100 books, which means 3 books a day. If you are in the $100,000 income bracket, you need to sell 20,000 books to make $50. 2,000 books to make $50 a book, you know? You cannot sell 2,000 books a month. It's impossible as these numbers. And if you can for a month or 2 or 3, it is not sustainable. Except few individuals who are putting books for some learning or some massive schools. But you cannot do this sustainably. So many individuals will spend $50,000 in a program to publish a book. They can make $2,000 to $3,000 per book in the first year. And then the book will be obsolete. So positioning a
No,
book.
I know, but the good point about that, and I will give you two good examples: Harry Potter and 50 Shades of Grey.
Harry Potter and 50 Shades of Grades are not business books. This are complete different market that there is less than 1 of 10,000% of individuals can tap into it. Star Wars, we are not Star Wars writers, okay? We are an average business people who are looking to make money out of leveraging our knowledge. Like we talked about, what's the last topic we have with this last client? Documentaries.
Oh, right.
How much money you make out of documentary? And when your documentary will be offered on Netflix? This stuff are, if you look at the numbers, doesn't make sense. Documentaries for the long time I ever know are funded, government funding projects to try to brainwash or change public opinion about something. That's it. When you look at Fifth Estate or whatever documentaries they have on CPS or whatever, they do them on these documentaries because they have enough crowd comes from money from advertising. But if you come and do a documentary on you, why? Because you are promoting something else. You are promoting your organization, your business, your something else. So there is no money in documentaries. There is no profit there. But you need it. You know, if I have a documentary on each one of you guys, and when we have every ceremony, we just play the documentary, you know, how many people will sign up for your service because you have this documentary? Lots of money. Now, how much money will cost you to build a documentary? It can start at $8,000, $5,000. You can actually do it for free if you want to, by having few of volunteers we know. They will come do it for you for different service. So $5,000 to $10,000 can get you a smaller documentary if you want to. $80,000 will be a good number. Couple of $100,000 is the number, another number we heard. But why you need to have this documentary? What the reason for it is not the profit from the documentary. So when we talk about your authority, you talk about your program, how to make money out of both is you need to position books, websites, social media strategy, every single else you can do in your life will be positioned around. And that's why our program is unique and different than anybody else. And I don't want to, because we are recording this event, I don't want to articulate specific programs, but offline I can give you exactly why. Now, if your program is about your authority and your experience, and your program does not include profit from books, and we are not your book coach, by the way, I have no interest in you publishing a book. I have interest in you positioning the book to support your program. So we always say the example of the salesman. If your program is to teach salesmen how to sell cars, and you try to offer the program, and you find the first 5 to 10 sessions will resonate better with people who are selling SUVs or vans, what your book title will be? How you sell a car or how you sell an SUV or a van? How you sell an SUV or a van? Because this is where your program sells more. Now, after you establish this program for 6 months to a year, and you want to expand to cars or many cars or Tesla cars or whatever cars is, new energy cars, you can have a second program.
And then you have a series.
And then you can have a series. And then you can be soup for the soul. But if you don't have a program and you try to be a public speaker or publishing a book, you are not necessarily putting the money, maximize the return of investment from your investment of time and money. Where is the best place to pre-sell your book? On your social media walls and in your workshops and webinars and seminars. The last 3 books for me, I was able to pre-sell them. Because people will spend $20, $15, $7 to buy your new book because they like to support you. And $20 for them is not a big money. But it's a good feeling. It's extremely good feelings when you pre-sell 20, 30, 100 copies of a book you dream of writing it. It gives you enough credibility. And if you sell your program, get a ghostwriter to write your book. That's it. If you want to sit and write it, sit and write it. But the point I want to say is, if you understand your authority, if you understand what programs you can sell based on your authority, you can position everything else. Everything else will become a very simple, logical steps to take. Now, if we go around the table and ask, okay, why you don't have a seminar or a workshop? Why not everybody have a seminar and workshop? Because they are not ready. Why you are not ready? Because you don't have a program that you can sell. That's right. The only individuals who may be able to do one-on-one or having a program or having a package program that they can sell, they will offer webinars, seminars, and for me seminars and webinars are the same. They will offer intro night. But if people don't have programs to sell, film programs to sell, they will not have these seminars. Does it make sense? Can you relate to this? That's right. So this is where I see the difference we have. Does this answer the question? Okay. Any other questions or any other issues we can tackle before we conclude? We have 18 minutes and 30 seconds. Good things about recording is you can have a timer there.
So for Wednesday, we need to come back with like being able to articulate our authority.
Yes, you need to be able to articulate your authority. This practice and these tools, it takes weeks and weeks to build.
And we have to get it done?
No, you don't have to take it done. You have to have the start out of it, because the value of this life workshop or life course is you walk away with some stuff already done.
Mm-hmm.
You have the starting of it. When we did the other experiment on sales funnels, each one of us walked away with a sales funnel. We walked away with specific forms we can use. Some of them are implemented, some of them are not. And next time we'll meet on this particular topic, we will have discussions about which one you like the most and stuff like that, right? So the question is, what's needed for next time? For next time, you need to start this tree. You need to be able to come and sit here, okay, I found out this authority and this is how I will articulate them. And then we can comment on that. And believe me, you will go away, you will come back, you will have a better authority. You will have a better articulation. For me, the more I think about this practice, the more I found stuff that I missed, I had a moment where I rewrote all my bio. I'm not sure if you know this, but 4 or 5 weeks ago or 6 weeks ago, I suddenly started to put a very, very different bio than anything else. Because I went through this. I teach what I use myself. So I went through this practice. And as I said, you can use it for your general life if you don't have a specific tools. All the stuff you mentioned about the nutrition and the lifestyle, it's actually a more attractive for me to push as a business than the fitness.
But that's the thing. You never asked me.
I know, but if you push people toward nature and using the substance, I call it the explicit food. Like for me, because I know how to cook, and I like to cook food, I don't eat lots of processed food. I love to eat the processed food by choice. So there'll be this particular day we say, okay, let's go to this restaurant because we want to get a big sandwich of that. That's it. Other than that, I like to have explicit food. I'd like to see the chicken drums as a chicken drum with a bone inside, with the skin on the top. I don't like this mixing of food because I learned how to cook early on in my life and I enjoy cooking. I like to know what ingredient I have. So if you want to offer somebody back to nature or back to explicit life where you can use baking soda instead of toothpaste, where you use this stuff. I think there are lots of good audience around here who will be interested in these messages. You know?
That's what I'm saying. Okay. Like when we're talking about the pain points at the beginning, I told you I know how to get it. I know how to get there. I know how to dig in. As more as I learn, right? As easier it is for me, and it is all about putting in.
So this is, I think, this authority things will be a stepping stone inside the process of how you put it in a piece of paper. Now, after you put it in a piece of paper, what kind of program you will offer? Will be a training program? Will be a seminar program? Will be a blueprint program? Will be just some tools and material? Or will be the actual ingredients that you can sell to them over the internet? Like if you come and say, here is the blueprint of your life, and here is a jar of baking soda. This, and you will sell this through.
I'm not proud of that, but I cannot say because.
Yeah, but this is a point. This is a point I'm trying to explain. Is once you establish your authority, once you establish your program, you can figure out what you can sell inside this program. Is it only knowledge based? Is it only courses? Is it only seminars? It's only one-on-one? Or you can also add few like meditation, daily meditation ways.
But I already have structure.
Why you don't implement it? Why you don't?
Because I have the end result. I know how to, and I have all that already set up. It is how I get it. I have the thing. How I can start just putting that into place. Actually.
So will the tools of today help you putting this into place?
Well, yes, I need to articulate the whole authority.
Yeah. So what's required for next, or what I recommend you, it's up to you if you wanna play in full or not. What I recommend is try to fill as much as you can. Try to articulate it and let's discuss it. And then I will show you how to make it, in my experience, how to make it much better, how to fill the gaps, because you will have gaps. Believe me, you will have gaps. Some of the gaps are as simple as you may need some recognition from the community. You may want to connect with a specific community, especially if you want to do green stuff, nutritional stuff. There are so many communities around Calgary, you need to connect with them. You need to be part of them so they can promote you. And you have the big sheet, yes, you should be able to implement this stuff. And just do the last 2 years, do the last 4 years. Start somewhere. Yes, ma'am.
Yes.
So start somewhere. Okay? The last element in this sequence is you need to review and revise. So this is a live document. This is not a document which you will do it for one time and you will forget about it. You will need always to revise it because every week, every month, every year, there is new things happening in your life. So there was a mention of 17 workshops. What will happen in 2 months from now? There will be 18 workshops. You know what an extra workshop means? 20 to 50 new individuals in the count. So when I come and say it's 400 individuals now I helped, now they are 450. So I have to revise it. So this is a live document. It's not something you did, it's like your CV, your resume. It's a live. You keep adding to it, adding to it, adding to it every time.
How did you do your aggregation? In an Excel spreadsheet, or what did you do in order to put all the things together? Just technique. I love the tree. That's great. Yeah. He said that he counted, but
let's just get the tree under.
Where's your,
What?
where's your little grid markings.
So yeah, that's totally fine. And then you mentioned that you used like a marker or
So
symbols
let's
for some stuff.
let's do a complete review of the tool, because this is the most important. This is the innovation part of mine. Okay, this is something which I invented, so I'm proud of it. So what you do basically is you split 2. There is another version of 4, but 2 sounds much simpler to understand. You split this into 2 every time. And when you come here, you start to have like 3 months, 6 months, 4 months, or whatever sequence you have. Then, once you articulate around here, what are the entries? So I articulate here, what are my entries in this particular period. If I don't know, if I don't care about the 6 months, I can articulate some other entries here for the year. So in this particular year, what happened? This within the first 3 months, maybe this within the next 6 months, and this is stuff which I don't care about the exact time. Okay? Now, what you want to aggregate? Number of clients. You can actually mark out or highlight, use the highlighter, whatever you want to use. You say, I have here number of clients. I have here number of clients. I have here number of clients. So the number of clients here will be the total of these numbers. What you should have at the root, it's a complete list of everything comes through here. The other classification you need to do, or you should do, is what's rational to your program. So if my program is money-making program, what's here related to money-making? Oh, I sold the company here. Oh, I started a new business here and it failed. It doesn't matter, because at the end of the day you say, I built 7 companies, I sold 2, I failed 5. Is this enough experience? Yes, for somebody. I know exactly what not to do, which is the point of how to help you making money, is how to avoid my mistakes. And because I'm in the same shoes as you, which is a technique, we'll explain it when we talk about how you present your system, how you can level yourself with your audience. In this way, I know what to do and what not to do. So does it worth for you to spend $500 to come to my workshop? $1,000 for coming to my workshop? Most likely is yes. So when you try to aggregate, the trick here is what rationale or what relevance between these nodes to articulate. That's why I recommend to have like signs, so you can have like check mark, like different signages. Yeah. And why not highlighter? Because there are some elements here will be rational to this, will be relevant to this. So at certain point when I did this, I found out, I touch base more than 20,000 individual life. I have more than 2,000 graduate students I attach. And I can actually call them. I have names of 2,000 plus graduate students doing master and PhDs where I was able to change their lives. I have that many. And from that point, yeah, I have passion for education, and that's why I started this program. Because I love teach others. I love give the values for others. So this is how you aggregate. And then you will have a full list here. Maybe the page, the size of the page will not be enough, but you have somewhere else where you can list everything per category. And then you see, okay, how you can make 10 lines, 5 lines, 10 lines out of this about your authority. If you don't have any authorities, you shouldn't sell a business. And what you look for here is programs you offered, people you meet, functions you attend. If you have a client, how big is the client? How small is the client? What numbers? What the client achieved? Like if you take over a project and you help the client making $100,000. If you take on a project and you build the highest tower in Dubai. This is what people want to know. I was part of the highest tower in the world team, which is one of the people we talked about before. People don't want to know that you are a project management for 15 projects. One project, what's the budget of these projects? So this kind of wow factor are important. If you are in life coaching and you have somebody who is about to suicide and you try to make them avoid to have suicidal impact, or you met someone who is actually having problems with the police and you help them to alleviate criminal charges because your intervention early on, this is valuable. People want to know that. If you have somebody in real debts and you help them quickly to make money, this is part of the aggregation. How many clients did you help overall? And what are the cases? Because when you relate, you can tell now who is your client. Can you relate to that?
Yeah. Okay.
Any more questions on the tools?
It's basically all about your.
It's all about how to articulate your wow factor, and your wow factor must resonate and relate to your clients. And what is the value to your clients? Majority of the information I got from struggling individuals trying to make money is they cannot say why we should go to these events. Why do we get your service? When you try to focus on the service, you are trying to reach individuals who are 3% of the market buying the current service. So you're trying to compete on price. But if you come and say, I am in making your life better, making you happier. Okay, how? You can explain the tool. But I'm here because I know I will have a happier life. I will be more fit. I will have more fitness. I will have less pain. I will have less potential illness or cancer.
Clarity on your life's purpose.
Clarity on your life purpose. So if you talk about clarity on your life purpose, you cannot go to successful business people selling them this.
Well, there is something that I and this is very particular to me, because I noticed that one of the things that I notice is the pain point in so many people now, it is becoming normal. How can it shift that? Because it is pretty normal for people to take medication. It is pretty normal. High blood pressure, the side effects of the medication is very normal. So that's the norm now. So it is stopping a pain. But it has to be a pain, like seriously.
Talk about the side effects of all these drugs.
Short alive.
Okay, I like that. Yeah, that's a good point.
This is what majority of the healing, like healing touch and.
They're not side effects; they're effects.
Oh yeah. Okay.
So majority of healing touch practitioners, they basically talk about the side effect of medications. But yeah, I have to warn you here because according to the FDA and the actual institutes of healing touch and whatever practitioners they got their license from, they will tell you you cannot replace an evidence-based medication with a healing touch or energy-based medication. You cannot advise on that.
No,
because
but
you
can work with them.
You can work with them, but you can be liable. So there is a way to be able to say this stuff in a specific verbiage.
In a way that doesn't put you on the hook.
Yes.
Yeah, which
Would
is
be
just
sharing your story again, but going over with someone to help give you feedback on that story.
Yep.
So, and is it better to talk about third person or second person?
It's an outcome of this authority tree. Because in this authority tree, if we find out the gaps, this is not your experience, you need to borrow somebody's story.
Right. So that's the boring part.
Okay? So if you come and say, I was helping individuals to treat from cancer or from hard time, but you didn't have the hard time yourself, you need to borrow somebody's story.
That's very good.
Okay?
That's very
Yeah, if you teach, if you help individuals from high blood pressure, and you never have a high, if you never or and you never have a high blood pressure yourself, which is you don't need to. So this the story has to be spun. You have to spin it in a way that it resonates, it relates, but is not you.
What about using a study shows? Study shows X, Y, Z.
This comes to how you structure your seminars and workshop.
Yeah,
So in your
part of the
seminars,
presentation.
in your seminars and workshops, you have to give nuggets and pieces of information, which
Much
is
more personal.
statistics will be very good for that, or studies will be very good for that, which did not happen in the last workshop. You have to drive values, and then you have to tell your story. And I got lost in the story because the story did not have a happy ending. Did not have it has a very strong defining moment. In a full 3D, it was very lovely, but there was no outcome coming out of it. And the outcome was not articulated. So the outcome was not articulated. You could not get my hands to buy into the service. All the experience we have did not show, nobody articulates the values of why we have it. Even if you say you will be happy. This is not only for this particular workshop, but for so many of these sabotage and healings workshops. They assume you want to experience the value and you know what's the outcome. So, I don't know. Any other questions?
I think I'm good.
Good?
Good.
Okay, so we'll meet again on
Wednesday.
Wednesday at same time, yeah, 5:30 till roughly 9, a little bit before 9:30, and okay. Okay, so
Thank you.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Let's just close this one first.
You're a good teacher.